all the stresses, but it can be just as stressful. So today we're going to go over a little bit of map reading, do a brief introduction onto the microdagger and the glories of that device, vehicle identification, OP4 and Blue 4 vehicles. We will be going over how to mount and dismount our vehicles, motorized and air assets. Then we will be going over convoys, what to do, what not to do, and hopefully, if we have enough time in the end, we will work on a little CQB, which would be pretty fun. Don't expect to get it all in the first try. It's practice, practice, practice. So obviously, before we get going today, I'll give you a minute or two to grab pen and paper, pencil, and something to drink. Kneel down if you have to run off. Stand back up when you get back. Alright, gentlemen, follow me. We're going to get just microdaggers and maps if we don't have them already, and then we will move to the classroom. So, follow me. Alright, so just getting a little familiarized, y'all, with the map. If y'all press M, you have horizontal and vertical lines which make up grids. The horizontal lines are called your easting, and your vertical lines are called northing. Little tidbit of information there. Now, the way we have maps here, we can effectively get a 2, 4, and 6-digit grid with these maps without really having to do anything but besides look at the numbers on the sides and top and bottom. Now, a 2-digit grid will give you 1,000 meters squared. So inside one grid box is 1,000 meters. Going down to, oh, excuse me, that's a 4-digit. A 2-digit will give you 10,000. A 4-digit will give you 1,000. And a 6-digit, if you keep scrolling in, we have 3 numbers, will give you 100 meters squared. Now, the 6-digit grid is what we mostly use, but we can, with a little markings on a map, we can make a 8-digit grid. Now, an 8-digit grid will allow us to scale it down even further and pinpoint an area 10 meters squared. So let me do something for y'all real quick. So I'm gonna mark the 4 corners
Hey,
of
Incredible,
that grid.
Scree, how you doing, man?
Everybody can see that, and when
Sorry,
you
I didn't see you
scroll it
message 2
in,
minutes late. My bad, man.
just enough to make that from a 4 to a 6-digit grid. Next thing you see are that grid being broken down into tenths. So that's how they are getting or going from a 4-digit grid to a 6-digit grid. They're simply breaking the 4-digit grid down into a 6-digit grid by breaking it up into tenths. So if you scroll back a little bit, going back to a 4-digit grid, now you can see how the 4-digit is broken down into tenths, which now gives you your 6-digit. So we're going to follow the same process. We are going to break down a 6-digit grid into tenths to make a 8-digit grid. Now, pretty sure I don't have my map tools on me, but it helps out, makes the numbers pretty even, but we'll wing it here. Let's see. So I'll just work on this one here. Let me mark corners of the grid that I'm working on. So I'm going to turn that 6-digit grid into an 8-digit grid. So when you read out grid coordinates, you always start left to right, bottom to top.
User joined your channel.
So left to right, bottom to top. Say shits and giggles, I wanted to find this blue dot that happened to be an enemy encampment, and I needed to give a accurate 8-digit grid because I needed mortars put down on it. Or instead of friendlies looking this entire area, I can get them go into a more precise area. Save on time, travel, all that good stuff. Well, I already know that the 6-digit grid of this is 152165. So when you're doing an 8-digit grid, what you're looking for is the 4th and 8th number. So we're going to look for the 4th number. So it's always start from left to right, bottom to top. So we're going to start with this line here. So you got to imagine that that line's getting moved over to here. So that would put us, let's just say, on the
About
8
an
mark.
8.
Yeah, we'll call it 8. So that would be 1528. So we got our first 4 digits of an 8-digit grid. So now we're going to work from bottom to top. So we're going to imagine that line getting pulled up and using that number. So we can call that a 7. So that would be 1657. So right there is our 8-digit grid for this blue mark here. It is a little bit more hard when you're under pressure, or harder when you are getting shot at and shit. But normally a 6-digit grid, this 100 meters, is well enough for what we do. But this 8-digit will be used when you are billeted and doing land nav. What will happen is you and your battle buddy will get dropped undisclosed location, so you won't know where at on the map wise, and you have to use only your compass, your map tools, and your vectors to find where you're at on the map to begin with. And then once you find out where you're at on the map, you have to get from that point to another point on the map, and then from that point to another point, and it's usually pretty fun. At least I think so. All right. So, any questions on an 8-digit grid on
I
how
got my
to
first sub
get
way
that,
back
gentlemen?
then. On
Thanks,
Twitch.
Sarge.
Streaming both on Twitch and
Alrighty. All right. Let's see. Let's move over roughly a click to the west, and everybody sees the flight training, flight school staging area. I would like all three of y'all, I'm gonna give each one of y'all a point, to give me an 8-digit grid. If you can do that, then I know you can give me a 6-digit grid. Private Perrin, I want you to give me the 8-digit of this black dot for flight training.
14161624.
Yeah, I'll take that. All right, Private Carey, right above that, the flight training school station area, black dot.
1418162
All right, good. And last but not least, Private James, come down here to the southeast 200 meters to this comms tower. I want this symbol, 8-digit.
143 3 1619.
Yeah, I'll take it. It could be like 143, either 2 or 3. So, but good. All right, excellent. All right, we are moving on. So we have our maps are all fucky. All right, so we have multiple colors on the map, gentlemen. They all mean something. Sometimes they can mean multiple things. So gray indicates a man-made feature. Blue identifies water. Brown is relief features and elevation. Green is vegetation with military significance.
If you're go on Twitch and you can do
Red
exclamation
is
point
railroads.
506
Red
TH,
also
and then give you
indicates
information
elevation.
about 506.
So brown and red
There's
lines
Milsim unit.
are elevation markers. Well, contour lines, excuse me. Black is grid lines and or power lines. Thick orange lines, those are roads, but those in particular are main supply routes or MSRs. Those are your paved surfaces.
So this is just training right now.
So the orange lines are paved surfaces.
Their last day of training
then you have
will be
the medium
Thursday,
thick yellow
which will be a
lines,
live
which
fire
are
exercise.
ASRs. Those are
doing
the
the
nicer
first
dirt
full-scale
roads.
combat.
They
Not
would look
full-scale combat,
something
but
similar
live
to what
combat.
we're standing on. And
then they'll
last but not least
graduate,
is hollow lines.
then,
They're kind of hard to see,
officially
but
are part of
those
the
are
unit,
your
and then they select their
quintessential
billet.
back roads.
And today is day 3,
with
the last day
2
instruction.
ruts,
We're just going over
grass
everything
on the
that
sides,
that
grass in
wasn't
the middle.
covered throughout the past other 2 days, and everything
So
that's supposed to be
that
covered for
is
today as well.
it. All right, so contour lines. Go back to our map, gentlemen. Let's look in. Yeah, we'll look at that let's start with grid ref 1 tree 165. You'd see hilltop 106. We're gonna start in this area. Everybody's tracking on that location?
Roger.
Yes,
All right.
Sergeant. Yes, Sergeant.
So you zoom in, just not as far as you can go. Let's say, let's make it to where your contour interval, if you look on the bottom right of the screen, says 1 meter. So there's not much between this and this. I don't know why they have them both 106 when you have an extra piece
Okay,
here. It
that's
should
cool.
be 10 fucking 7, but we're gonna
Wait, you already remember the
not
506
look at that
infantry
because
as a
that's
realism unit?
food bar.
I'm not talking about
So
like the
right
real life.
here-
I'm talking about this is a realism
This
unit. Not
land here on top this hilltop is 106 meters above sea level. Now you see all these fucking squiggly lines, that is your contour lines. That is showing you how the terrain is moving, per se. But it also can give you elevation. So we are at 1 meter interval. Alright, so obviously if I do it, this is right. This 106 is wrong here. Because that's 106 meters
Here,
above.
switch over to Twitch. I'll show you.
This will
everything.
be
do the exclamation point 506.
1 meter down. So 106, so 105, 104, 103. That's why you see 103 there, because this is 103 meters. But we could even stop. We don't even have to go that far. We can stop once we hit this red line. So 106, this red line will be 105. So we know the interval is 1 meter between these. So between this red line and that red line is going to be 5 meters difference, because you have from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got 5 meters difference. So where this is 105, 100, 195, 190, 185, 180. So you can get elevation by just using those numbers and using your contour lines. Now, we don't need that, because obviously we have fucking microdaggers and vectors that will give us elevation and whatnot. So, but we can use these brown and red lines for something completely different. For when we are making up a route, when you see that these lines are tightly packed, that tells you that the terrain is sloped, or could be between steeply sloped and not so steep. All depends on the space between these lines. So obviously the more that they're spaced out, the not so steep the slope is. Now it's good for when you're making a route, because you don't want to walk your guys up a steep slope. Obviously, because you go to a walking speed, you're losing stamina. And if you get caught on a hillside moving up or moving down a steep slope, you can't go anywhere as quick, because all you can do is do a walking pace. So that can be quite bad. But they also give you a lot more than just that. Let me get to what I want. So, like I said, first one is hill. That's what that is right there. This is a perfect example of a hill. So obviously these black numbers are not just random, they are elevation markers above sea level. But this is your hill, and that is what it looks like on the map. I'm going to go on to the next one, which is a ridge. So let's scroll back some, gentlemen, and I am going to show you this. So multiple hilltops make up a ridgeline. So that red line going through all those hilltops, that is your ridge line. Ridge lines are great for getting from point A to point B in an elevated position while masking or protecting a flank. Not going to protect both flanks, but at least it'll help protect one flank. And I will give you another use of why you want to be so high. You know, if you use a different color here for a moment. So if you were trying to get, you know, from here and get, you know, over here, you can use way up high, yellow being your route, up on a ridge line to get from point A to point B, because it keeps you in an elevated position. It also allows you to get on the other side of the ridge line in case you get engaged from that way. Now, we move on so we can let you know about how to utilize getting on the other side. And you're going to utilize the saddle. So whereas you got a ridge line which has hilltops connecting, you have saddles. So the high spot, hilltop, and then between two hilltops there's going to be a low spot. That is a saddle. Now, instead of, I don't know, let's just use this again here for learning purposes. Instead of crossing over a hilltop, if you come engaged from the south, you can make it easier and faster by pushing across or through a saddle. So it'll help with protection to your flanks because you're now in defilade as you push through a saddle. Now, you don't have to utilize a saddle like that only when you're engaged. You can do that if you need to get on the other side without being engaged. If you just want to make it easier on you guys, cross in a low spot, and it will help keep you with fucking security on your flanks by being in defilade. So everything has. Next is a valley. A valley is low area, usually where the hilltops, the ridge lines all start moving downhill and into a valley. So it's kind of hard to see on this one, but this road would be in a valley. Not so much, not so much here. But where I have the straight line is in a valley. You can tell your fucking contour lines are getting very spread out here, which means the fucking land is getting very, well, it's starting to become level. So valleys are a great means for movement and vehicles. Get you from point A to point B fast because it's level-ish, flat ground. So it's not fucking full of obstacles. You're usually on a MSR, ASR, moving in a convoy. Obviously, you don't want to be in a valley longer than you have to. It's a great place for the enemy to ambush you in, because they have certain high points around in a valley, So here would be a good ambush point, here. This is higher ground than this fucking valley down here. Right. Yep, here too. I mean, you're only shooting, if you took this spot as an ambush point, you only have fucking 200 meters, 300 meters at some spots, 400 to shoot the enemy. So that's well within engagement range, even for their weapon system. So you want to keep their short halts to a minimum and just get from point A to point B and spend least amount of time as possible in a valley. And obviously, if they're gonna ambush us there, the fucking valley would be a great place for us to ambush them. It goes both ways. Alright, so let's look back up with the green and red lines. So our next one is going to be a draw / spur. So a draw will always lead from a spur to a valley. If you look here, you have that's a draw. That's a draw. This over here, reminiscence of a draw. Right here is a draw. So if you need to get from high to low ground, use a draw. Draw affords you to have defilade on either sides. If you remember, on day 2, took you through that sunken land and showed you how using defilade on both sides, being lower with the ground elevated on your left right flank, you can move from point A to point B fairly unseen. Now, I'm not going to guarantee that you're going to be unseen using a draw, but it's a hell of a lot better than fucking coming out on the face of a hill and coming down. Because then you're just totally exposed even on your flanks. So at least your flanks are somewhat exposed, not exposed, but secured or covered when you are in a draw. Now, I mentioned spurs. Spurs are, if you get out of your map and look at this illustration, the spurs are your two outside arrows. That is the defilade of a draw. Alright, next is a depression. Probably gonna be hard pressed to find that in the damn map. But a depression is sunken ground surrounded by raised ground. Just from that, you can obviously understand why a depression is not the best place to be. If the enemy has the high ground in a 360-degree fashion looking down at you, that should be enough said on why you don't want to fucking be in that area. So, if you find yourself in that area, definitely hightail it out of there and get back to higher ground. Or if you know that a enemy position, not enemy position, or enemy squad, fire team is patrolling and they happen to be going through a fucking depression, you know, by all means, break up your squad a little bit and fucking use it. Or coordinate with another squad. Next is a fucking cliff. So we're gonna take a trip here, gentlemen. Go all the way to the northwest side of the map by Thronos. And this is the best I can show you what a cliff looks like on the map. Even zoomed in, contour lines are ridiculously tight, but also they are peppered with this feature, which is mountainous terrain. Some of this shit is not friendly. You fall, you can get stuck in a fucking crevice where nobody can get to you. You can fuck yourself up. It's just slow moving. It's not the place you want to go if you are in contact trying to get away from an enemy. Definitely don't want to rely on this kind of terrain. It'll harm you more than do good. So this is the best I can show you of what a cliff looks like on a map. And that is all for our features, land features on a map. Does anybody have a question about what I just went over?
Sergeant.
Negative, Sergeant.
Alright. Next, we're going to go over a bit is your microdagger. So if you need to use your microdagger, simply press the hotel key, H key. It'll bring up your microdagger. Got a lot of useful information on the microdagger. Let me put it up for y'all so I can point out which. Alright, so at the top is going to be the in-game time. You want to look at that when you load in. If it's around 1600 hours, make sure you got your fucking nods with you. Chances are it's gonna get dark before you get out of the field. So check that out. It gives you the fucking degrees in which your body is facing. That is in the bottom left of your micro dagger. So it only changes when your body changes. Can't free look and change that. Only when your body is moving. Bottom middle is the 6-digit grid in which you physically are standing in. Last but not least, on that part, you have the cardinal direction, bottom right. Now that obviously only moves when your body moves. It's just like your bearing in degrees. When that moves, your cardinal direction moves. Now, it has a little bit more to offer you. If you hit Control Hotel, it will become slightly interactive on your screen. You have your cursor on the screen of your micro dagger, and if you move it around, a thin yellow line that extends from your position outwards with an arrow point, that also gives you information. It gives you the 6-digit grid in which the end of that arrow is in. It also gives you the elevation difference between you and the tip of that arrow. It gives you the degrees, or actually, let me back up for a second. It gives you the distance between you and the arrow tip. So if we pointed at something like the CMS classroom dot, you'll see it'll be roughly 0.10 kilometers. We're not going to give that out. Don't say it's fucking 0.10 kilometers. Fucking translate that, and it's going to be 100 meters. Simple as that. So if it's anything between 0.01 and 0.09, it's going to be a tenth. So 0.01 is 10 meters, 0.09 is 90 meters. And the same thing goes for 0.100, or excuse me, 0.10 is 100 meters, and 0.90 is 900 meters. Anything past that, that's when you get into 1,000 meters. Anything a 1, 2, 3, 4 before the decimal point is in, you call that in kilometers. Call it, 4 clicks, 4,000 meters, 4 kilometers. So last but not least, at the very bottom, it gives you your bearing and cardinal direction that you have to travel to get to where your cursor is pointing. Now, if we wanted to go to the CMS classroom, we would have to travel 054 degrees northeast, roughly 100 meters, to get to that classroom. So, got quite a bit of useful information. It's hard for some people, but I would get used to running whenever you're in an operation, you're in a training, get used to running with the micro dagger up on your screen. It's quicker than having to pull out your compass to give a bearing or get a bearing. And when you're trying to call out a contact or spot report, both of them require you to do the same thing. So I'm going to just go over that for a second and integrate it into why it's good to have your micro dagger up. So a contact report, you all know what a contact is. They're actively engaging us. That is a contact. A spot report is a report on a non-contact. Anything but somebody shooting at you will be a spot report. Mostly used for civilians. But a enemy that's not engaging you would be a a spot report. Even though he's an enemy, but he's not engaging you, so it's considered a spot report. So both of them require you to do the same thing. That is the 3Ds: description, distance, and degrees. So by having your microdagger up, you know what fucking degree you're facing right away without having to pull up your compass and wait for it to fucking stop spinning. You know what degree you're facing. So bam, that's fucking one of the D's down. Obviously, the next one that's going to be easy enough for you is going to be description. You know, enemy fire team, enemy squad bearing for me would be 0, 9, or 0. So right there, you got 2 out of the 3Ds done quick enough. If I had my compass, or if I had to put my compass up, it probably would have took another 5 seconds to get that, to wait for the compass to stop spinning. And obviously, last but not least, would be the distance. That is something you can get from your optics if you have your RCO. If you can't, then you would have to obviously break those communications, get your vectors out, and get a distance. So, but at least you're getting people looking in that direction fairly quickly. You gave them a description, a degree, and chances are they'll see it by the time you get a fucking distance out to them. So, it's all about speed. Alright, any questions on your microdagger, gentlemen?
No, sir.
Negative, Sergeant.
Alrighty. Sergeant Smith, you there?
Hey, firm.
Alright. They're all yours, brother.
Thank you. Alright, there's actually one more thing I want to point out though with the macro dagger. All you still have it up. Do we also have it up?
Yes, Sergeant.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. For in relation to, you need to be able to see teammates closely or further away from you. Or if you want to zoom out in your macro dagger, let's make sure we're on your H. Your hotel, not control hotel. So the smaller version, the one that sticks on your screen allows you to move. Do we have that on?
Roger, Sergeant.
All right.
Yes, sir.
You press Control Shift page up and page down. That allows you to zoom in and out of your Android or macro dagger without having to see the default view. So if your whole squad will stick together with you or spaced out with you, this allows you to see them. All right. Any questions?
Yes, Sergeant. You said Control Shift page up,
And page down.
page down.
Yep.
I'm just getting head turn.
Does it work for y'all or no?
It works for me, Sergeant. Works for me too, Sergeant.
Make sure you're on the smaller version, Private James.
I am, Sergeant.
Is it working? Hold all the keys.
Negative, Sergeant.
So all the keys down. So you hold Control Shift down and then press page up or page down. You should see it zooming in or zooming out.
Negative, Sergeant.
Don't
My
worry about it.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
know if it's because my page up and page down is on my number key. It's giving me the head turn.
Okay, yeah, we'll try. We'll figure that out later on then. All right, make sure you
Roger that,
guys
Sergeant.
go ahead and stand up. If you're not, go ahead and do your right face. Go ahead and follow me. Don't worry about putting your, we're missing. Is that James? Nope. Thomas, Corey, able to grab the person we're missing over there?
Roger that.
Alright, you two follow me. Don't worry about putting your soft covers on. I'm gonna go straight to the box. Alright, who's been a team leader?
I have been.
Private James, you been a team leader yet?
Negative, Sergeant.
Copy. Alright, Private Perrin, AR grenade. Actually, no. Private James, go ahead and assign Private Perrin a billet. You're gonna be team leader, Private James.
Roger that, Sergeant. Private Parent, you go ahead and be automatic rifleman.
And assign Private Carry a billet.
Private Carrier, you'll be the grenadier.
Alright, come in here and grab.
My loadouts are always grayed out.
Try to double tap them. Don't try to click the loadout button. If the loadout button's grayed out, then double tap the name of the loadout.
Yeah, I've got nothing working now. Or
What's the loadout you're missing? Someone drop him the grenadier loadout for him. It's either Private Parent or Private James. Help your brother out.
Load it up. Hold on 1 second.
If you got your stuff done, go ahead and load out. Stand by at the staging area. And get your PCCs finished up. You guys got about 2 months to do that.
We need radio, Sergeant.
Yep. Do everything like you normally would do.
it's not letting me pick up anything.
Alright, respawn. If you can't pick up the backpack, were you able to pick up the? You were able to pick up the rifle. Are you dragging and dropping it?
Yeah, and clicking on it. I can't even exit out with the exit, like the X.
Okay, escape and then try to respawn. Does it allow you to do that?
No, it doesn't. I'll just probably have to load into the server all again.
Can you abort or no? Alright, Alt tab and tab back in. I think that was a fix. I'm trying to remember what happened. Because someone had the exact same issue that you had right now. I forgot what was the fix for it. Alt tab and then tab back into the game.
Yeah, that fixed it.
Double tap control, Private Parent.
What was it?
Double tap control.
Trying that and it's not doing nothing.
Are we grabbing radios?
Yep. Every basic thing you need to grab. I mean, did you grab this stuff on the ground as well? You're
I
missing
reloaded.
bandages. I think you're watching your compass. Yep, compass and watch. Did y'all do your radio checks yet?
Negative.
Negative, Sergeant.
So double tap and control's not doing anything for you, correct?
Correct.
Well, shit.
Well, lowering his rifle?
Yes. I mean, look, see what you might have.
He's probably under a different preset.
Yeah, that's. Toggle raise weapon, left control. So go to your controls, click weapons under show, and scroll down about a third of the way, and you'll see raise weapon. I mean, toggle raise weapon. And it should say, well, it should say 2 times left control. What does yours say?
Control, show weapons. Raise weapons is blank.
The next one down. Toggle raise weapon.
Toggle raise weapon, 2-time left control.
All right. So it's right. Oh, there you go. All right. So y'all are fucking brothers here. Scoot up. Private Parent, get up. There you go. Care if he stinks. All right. You heard Sergeant Smith. He wants fucking PCCs. Fucking start getting that shit. Get him going there, gentlemen.
Parent, this is James. Radio check on Freak 100.1 over.
Private Parent, this is who?
James.
You sure? You are Alpha for the rest of the day.
Roger that, Sergeant.
Alright.
Parent, this is Alpha Radio check on Freak 100.1 over.
I'm trying to get mine set up.
Didn't even reach you on that frequency anyways, Private James. Go redo that again. Whoever just
You said
keyed
do it
up.
again, Sergeant?
Don't worry about it. Do your checks with Private Parent whenever you're ready. Whenever he's ready, I should say.
I'm set up.
Roger that. Parent, this is Alpha Radio check on Freak 100.1 over.
Yeah, I'm not reading you.
I'm not reading you on the radio.
Neither am I. Remember, make sure you bring the channel back to channel 1.
Parent, this is Alpha Radio check on Freak 100.1 over.
Alpha, this is Perrin. Read your 5x5 on Freak 1001.
Over.
Over.
Alpha, this is Parent. Roger out.
One more person.
Parent, this is Alpha. Roger out.
I thought I heard that.
Yeah, one more person to go with.
Carrier, this is Alpha Radio check on Freak 100.1 over.
Alpha, this is Carrie. I have you loud and clear on frequency 1001. Over.
Carrier, this is Alpha. Roger out.
Alright, equipment check. Make sure that Grenadier has his HE or HEDP rounds, whatever he needs, that is equipped for the whole entire mission. Make sure that your AR has at least some boxes with him. Make sure everyone else in your team have boxes for the AR. You guys should have a total of 1,000 rounds throughout your team, but don't worry about that count though, because there are only 3 of you. But the whole fire team should have a total of 1,000 rounds. So if the AR is carrying 600 rounds, then one person needs to carry a 200 round box, and then the other 2 carries 100 round box.
I have 600 rounds on me.
Yeah, at this point, then Private Care and Private James will carry 200 round box if you guys are a 3-man team, but don't worry about that. But let's not take any much time with the equipment checks. Give you guys about a minute or 2 break, whatever you need to do, because this next portion just all outside, and a lot of literature for you guys to remember on certain identifications. So give yourself a minute, 2 break. Once you're back, go and stand up. Apparently you guys didn't have to use the bathroom, right? Go and follow me. Alright, come to the blue flag. Oh no, it's the... Okay, that's interesting. Alright. We're gonna go to CQB course, and then we're gonna go to the vehicle PID course. Because apparently it's not working here. I should've. Stand by.
Teleport to vehicle training facility.
Right here?
PID course, yes.
I'm looking at the wrong flag. I'm looking at the... Okay. Alright, blue flag right here. Teleport to vehicle training facility. No.
Yep.
PID
No,
course.
PID. Oh well.
Someone
Alright.
can meet up with him, whoever went over.
I'll go get him.
Yep. Alright, vehicle teleport to PID course over here, guys, to the blue flag.
I don't know if I trust your flags anymore, Sergeant.
Is it the CQP mount?
No, PID course. Teleport to PID course. Stand by. Are you gonna follow me? Sergeant Marjotti, if you can you put a BMP3 down here?
Copy that.
Because I'm afraid if I go into Zeus right now, I'm gonna end up crashing.
Hey, firm. I'll take care of it.
Alright. In front of you, well, these first 3 vehicles I'm going over will be APCs, Armored Personnel Carriers. These Armored Personnel Carriers were built to protect infantrymen inside of them, so these vehicles are built to carry infantrymen. The ones in front of you right now. That right there. And Private James with a gangster lean. Alright, so... Alright, so I'm just out. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm guessing you placed that down. So what
Yeah,
started
it had
making
a big spike when I put it down.
Yeah. Alright, let's see here. What was I? Okay, so the BTR is the Armored Personnel Carrier. And now the BTR in front of you, there's 3 variants to BTR, 60, 70, and 80. 60, 70, 80, all these variants are exactly the same thing. The texturing of it looks a little bit different. However, it really doesn't matter on which one you call it because it all could be engaged by the same weapon systems that I will tell you what could be engaged by what. Now, to move on with that as well, though, the BTRs can carry at least a squad-sized element, so at least about 10 guys plus a couple more if they want to put some guys on top of the armor piece. If you see a BTR coming at you, You could use either your HE. No, let me use the ones that are more effective first, and what you should be using first off. You could use your Law, which is the M72 Law, or the AT-4, the M136 Heat Rocket. You could use either of the two to engage the BTR, but I would advise you to use your Law first. Reserve that AT-4 for something more bigger, which I'm about to show you later on after I go over all the APCs. Now, if you're out of the Law or the AT-4, or if there's no AT gunner nearby whatsoever, if they're too far away, then you could use your HEDP round, high explosive dual purpose rounds, that the Grenadier has. Sometimes you could take out this armor piece with one round. It'll make it go catastrophic. It always depends on the scenario. Sometimes it take about 7 or 8 rounds to make it go catastrophic. The BTRs. But don't forget, those are one of your ways, other ways to engage this armor piece. If you're at an AT, or if AT gunner is nowhere to be found, you need to take this thing out quickly enough. Now, with that said, it's very effective too as well if there's infantrymen on this armored piece. If you see infantrymen riding on this this APC, then put some HE rounds out there before the AT gunner engages the BTR, because it takes them a while to range it out and try to shoot at them. But if you can kill the infantry first before the APC can stop moving, then that's a good thing, because as soon as it stops moving, we can engage with the rocket, and the infantrymen are already dead before the infantrymen can hop out and start running away from the firefight and flank us from some later time. So, what I'm saying though here is that if you see it moving, shoot at the infantrymen that are on top of the armor piece. Put HE rounds near it. If the HE doesn't even hit the armor piece but lands right next to it, you can still take out the guys on the roof of the APC. Now, also 7.62 rounds, the rounds that are carried by the M240 Bravos and the weapon squads, can penetrate to this armor, and you can take out the troops that are inside. So you can take out the driver and the gunner if you need to. Any questions with the BTR?
No, sorry.
Okay, the BTR is carried. It's armed with a 12.7 KPVT coaxial machine gun, and that's the only rounds that it carries. It does not carry 7.62 rounds, unlike the like the BTR-80 Alpha, which I'll show you later on. The best way to engage the BTRs are from the sides and the rear. Sometimes the front will still allow you to go catastrophic, because it's not really that much protected as the BMPs are, and the main battle tanks, or any other improved armor. You can also take out the wheels. You want to stop this thing from moving. Put some HE rounds in the wheels. 5.56 won't do nothing to the wheels. Won't waste your 5.56 ammo on the BTR in any place, because it doesn't do nothing. All you're doing is letting it know that you're over here, or it's getting close to their enemies, which is us. But 7.62 rounds, about a whole box, will take out one of the tires. So don't even waste your 7.62 rounds if you're a machine gunner in the weapon squad. Alright. Oh, let's continue. Let's move on towards BTR-80 Alpha. For some reason I'm lagging, I don't know why. So hard. Alright, this is the BTR-80 Alpha. Do you guys see anything that looks a little bit different than the regular BTRs?
Got a big ass cannon.
Yep, that is the reason why we are showing you the BTR-80 Alpha or BTR-80A, other than the other BTRs. And just as I've told you before, the BTRs are all the same thing, but the BTR-80 Alpha is different than the BTR. It's more lethal than a BMP-1. The reason why it's more lethal is because of its turret, its cannon. It has a 30mm autocannon, which means it spits out 30mm high explosive rounds. With it being an autocannon, it has a automatic firing mode to it. It does not have no semi-automatic, only automatic firing mode other than the BMP-3. So all it has to do is press and hold onto the trigger and start launching rounds at infantry troops. It can take out the whole platoon if it wants to, if it's in a good elevated position behind some cover where we can't find it. And we put a whole platoon somewhere within its line of sight, it can take us all out within one stroke. Which I'm telling you this is because this thing is very lethal and deadly. So if you see BTR-80 Alpha and you see a BMP-1 or any other BTR or BRDM, which is this other APC to the right, you want to call this one out first. It's a very easy, quick infantry killer. Hiding behind cover, most likely won't do anything to us. Or it won't help us out, I should say. Hiding behind a rock wall, yeah, I can't see you, but long as it points its turret a little bit above the rock wall, the shrapnel will kill you or injure you. If hiding behind a long wall, long as it keeps engaging that house or that wall, the wall will fall apart. The BTR-80 Alpha is highly dangerous. Any other BTRs and APCs and BMP-1 that you'll ever experience. So, there's no confusion here on calling out a BTR-80 Alpha when you see it. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Sergeant.
It looks very different than in regular BTRs just because of its turret. Now, the BTR-80 Alpha was also built to with an increased elevation. So, it allows the turret to raise up even greater than 40 degrees. So the BTR-80 Alpha can also engage friendly air assets. That means that if we're trying to land our birds somewhere for reinsert, extraction, or insertion, or for resupply, whatever, the birds within its range can take it out as well. A BTR-80 Alpha can also be a other than a infantry killer, it could be also or air assets killer. That's one of the main reasons I want to call out as well. If they know Tunguska in the area, be BTR-80 Alpha in the area. Alright, let's move on to APCs. And by the way, you engage BTR-80 Alpha the same way you engage BTRs. It's nothing different. It gets engaged the same way. Only different though is about the turret. Alright, next is the BRDM. Do you see something different in BTR?
A lot smaller.
Yep, it's smaller. Now, you are only able to see the 4 visible tires. However, there's 4 more tires in the middle, a little bit raised up. It's because, I'll explain the reason why, but the reason why those tires in the center is because a BRDM is a reconnaissance vehicle. It's meant to be able to be silent and move very quickly, and it does not need to carry as many troops because reconnaissance elements are only about at least a fire team or 2 guys whatsoever. It can carry sniper teams, take them to some elevated position or some hilltop or whatever, drop them off, and then leave out of the AO. It can also be a spotter for infantry, for their infantry, for mortars, so they can see where we are at, and then zoom off away, and then give out call for fire to get some mortars on our position. Sometimes there's been a BRDM that came up, stuck up behind a squad, took them out without the squad even knowing. The squad just finished an engagement, just recuperated themselves, patched themselves up all the way, started moving. Then they got themselves shot all around, trying to figure out where they got shot from. As soon as one person turned around, you know, it's the BRDM engaging them. So it's very silent, like stick up on you guys very easily on some cases. Now, move on though. The reason why those 4 wheels in the center of the vehicle is there is to allow this BRDM to not get stuck on the hilltop. Some hilltops are very pointy, and if the hilltop, the tip of the hilltop touches that center part without those wheels being there, then you'll notice that the BRDM is being lifted by the hill, and the wheels could touch the other side. Even if one of the 2 pairs of the wheels, the front or the rear, touches, they look at the side when I see the wheels. What touches the ground, still it can't get out of that mess because it's probably stuck between the arch and the wheels. If you get what I mean by the arch, which is why those 4 wheels in the center is there for a reason. To get it out of danger, out of our view, and get away from any place very quickly enough if you need to. Any questions with BRDM?
Sergeant.
Okay. What I forgot to tell you guys as well, the BTR-80 Alpha also has a 7.62 coaxial machine gun on the side of it. I don't know how I forgot that. Now, the BRDM has 12.7 kpp VT machine gun as well. Alright, let's go ahead and take a 180 degree or let's do a about face. You look around behind you. This is our infantry, the enemy infantry fighting vehicles, IFVs. The ones we're going over right now are the BMPs. There's 3 variants of BMPs: BMP-1, BMP-2, BMP-3. As you go up higher in number, the more advanced it is. BMP-1 is to our left, and then the third one to our far right is the BMP-3. The one in the center is BMP-2. First off, the BMP-1. BMP-1 has just an unguided rocket. That's what you see in the, unguided missile, which is what you see on top of that turret. The turret is a smaller tank cannon. Does not cause so much of a threat as the BMP-2 or BMP-3 can. And the BMP-2 to BMP-3 looks almost exactly the same. There are some features that makes it a little bit distinctive, a little bit apart. Can y'all see it? Just the BMP-1 and BMP-2, not the BMP-3. Just BMP-1 and 2. You notice the sides a little bit different. Yep, go ahead.
The yellow.
Both of them, same thing.
That is on top.
You notice that the sides, you notice how the tracks, you come back over here where I'm at so you can see where I'm pointing at. Alright, if you look over here, you notice the sides are a little bumped apart. So if you look at the vehicles from its direct front or from its rear, the tracks are a little bit pushed out from the BMP-1 versus, the BMP-2 versus the BMP-1. The turrets are a little bit different. So the turret in the BMP-1, it has a smaller tank cannon, and it's a little bit lowered, a bit closer to the body of the BMP. BMP-2 turret is different. It is also a 30mm autocannon. So it's just as the BMP-1. And, as well, its turret is a little bit more raised. And then lastly, you've noticed the BMP-2 has a anti-tank guided missiles, similar to our TOW missiles. Which is different than what the BMP-1 has, which is just a white, unguided rocket. Now, I'm taking something a little bit different why the BMP-2 is a little bit more scarier than the BMP-1 and the BTRs. But is equivalent, almost the same as the BTR or the Alpha, a little bit dangerous. With this anti-guided, anti-tank guided missile, it could engage any of our any of our friendly ground vehicles and air airframes if it wants to. Just similar as a TOW missile, as long as it fires at what it wants to engage, if the turret follows the target, or as long as the turret moves, the rocket will follow where the turret's moving. Just like our TOW missiles. So, if our vehicles are moving and it launches a rocket, it could follow our vehicles. And at the same time, it could engage us with its turret as well. So, imagine you trying to evade the rocket from the BMP-2 and at the same time get engaged by its 30mm autocannon. Any questions of BMP-2 and BMP-1?
No, Sergeant.
Okay.
No, Sergeant.
Let's move on to something a little more deadlier. This is something I always tell people that is, to a regular rifle squad, more dangerous than a main battle tank. Here's the reason why. BMP-3 has 3 engagement weapon systems with it. First off, it has a 100mm tank cannon. It also has a 30mm autocannon mounted to the side of that tank turret, as you see right now, the one on the left of it. Then lastly, it has a 7.62 coaxial machine gun. You may say to yourself, what else does it also have? BMP-3 sometimes don't even blow up when it wants to. One of my team leaders, someone in my squad engaged a BMP-3 with a law about within 75 meters, hit turret, and all it did was disable the turret. Now, you may think, okay, well, the BMP-3 is no longer dangerous. It actually is still dangerous. That turret is facing down towards the ground, which it always hurts down to the ground, and facing at a good angle, either to the left or right. As long as this BMP-3 gets a little bit closer to you, it can still take you out, because guess what? It still has a 100mm cannon and a 30mm autocannon. It still hit us with his HE rounds. As long as it get closest to us, the rounds have to land right on us. As long as it land right next to us, it can take us out. Now, still active, we hit it also with an AT-4. It still kept moving. It took us another AT-4 shot to make it go catastrophic. Now, to continue on though, with it having this many engagement on weapon systems that can engage us, it makes it more deadlier, in my opinion, than the main battle tank, because it can keep on locking down our position, hit us with a 100mm cannon to knock down any cover that we hide behind, and then uses its 30mm autocannon, high explosive rounds, to take us out once it sees us. It can put itself in any position that it wants to. So, it could be more deadlier, or it could be almost exactly the same way as scary as the tanks. However, the only thing that's different though, its armor is weaker than the main battle tank. It has all of these weapon systems attached to it. Now, did I make the BMP-3 sound very scary to you? Hope I did.
Roger, Sergeant.
Because that's what I want to do, is make it sound scary to you, to make you guys know that if you see this thing in the AO, you call it with the quickness. Immediately bring it up your chain of command and let them know. This is seriously a platoon killer. If you don't believe me, I will show you a video. Task Force Alpha's or Bravo. One of the two. It took out almost half a platoon. They were stuck on the hilltop because this BMP-3 was not engaged when it was called out. 100% assure you that it will be deadly if you don't take it out quickly and don't call it up. Alright, any questions of BMP-3?
No, Sergeant.
No,
Okay.
Sergeant.
Now, the BMP 1, 2, and 3, all BMPs can be engaged from its sides or its rear. Now, come follow me so I can show you where it is the most effective way to kill it. If you have a side shot, now the BMP 1 is the same as BMP 2, so I'm going to show you the BMP 2. BMP 3, you hit it right here. See that opening right there? That's engine exhaust. You hit one rocket round right in there, the thing will go catastrophic. No need to run behind cover. Turn around with you. Now, BMP 1 and 2 is a little bit different. The exhaust is not from its sides. You hit it, and I'm lay down for you. If you get a shot right here, just pointing a little bit too high. But you try to get a shot right between the wheels, or those little rotating tracks, and between this little I don't even want to call this, but this dip that pokes out a little bit. You get right in there, the rocket will penetrate right through that armor. That armor is very weak. Rocket will penetrate right through there, and it gets right into the cargo, and it'll take out, with the shrapnel that's inside that rocket, or the rounds inside the rocket, it'll penetrate through the armor and take out any troops inside of it. And then it penetrates right through where the ammunition's held at, and I'll make the armor piece go catastrophic. But if you can't aim that very easily because the armor piece is too far away, hit the side. That's all you need to do. Top this real quick. Alright. If you get a shot on a turret from the side, or if you're in an elevated position, you hit a turret, you get a disable turret, it's no longer that much dangerous. Sometimes the rounds, it can never use as rounds. Now, in addition as well, sometimes it makes an armor piece go catastrophic with a BMP 1 and 2. It'll go immediately catastrophic if you hit the turret. Let's go up here to the front. If you come around the side, the exhaust of the BMP is right here. You guys see this little black screen? That looks like it has like a little filter screening on it.
Roger.
Okay. If you put a rocket right there, it'll go catastrophic as well if you're in an elevated position. Or I'm missing it right here by the turret. Now those shots are very hard to take, so don't worry about it. Don't make that your highest priority though. If you're in an elevated position, you know for sure you can hit it, it'll go catastrophic. And if I come down from here, look at the back, put a round right here at the rear, you go right through the troop compartment. The rounds will go right inside of where the troops are being transported at, because BMPs can still carry a team-size element inside of it. You can take out the guys inside. And hopefully the rounds will bounce around the cargo space and might hit the gunner and the driver. Now, continue on more with the BMP-3. Also, the BMP-3 has some more flaws with it. It also has an exhaust down to the bottom. A lot of easy ways to take out this armor piece. I just realized I wasn't talking. Alright, you put a round right down there, you can make it go catastrophic very easily. Like I said, any rounds that hit these exhaust immediately puts fire right into that fuel that is in there. It makes it go catastrophic. Remember, guys, if you put a lighter on where there's gas at, you know, I'll create more gas around. Exact same thing here. Now, the left side is a little more protected than on the right side. But as long as you try to put a round right here, and sometimes it may penetrate it or just hit it a little bit, but still help it still keep on moving. Put one more round. So you gotta put 2 rounds in here to penetrate through the armor sometimes. And lastly, always, the exhaust is not in the front on the BMP3, it's at the rear. This little filter right here, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but right here, where I'm standing on, will make it look catastrophic. That's where the exhaust is at again. And also, hit the turret. You could disable turret, either on an elevated position, stop it from moving. All it could do is run this over. Or, if you're standing where I'm at, you can still hit the turret from over here as well. So either an elevated position, hit the turret, or the exhaust. If you're on the ground level, try to aim for the turret, or any of these engine compartments to make it go catastrophic. That's the same thing with the BMPs. Any questions?
Yes, sir. Does this still carry about a fire team size
Yes.
element? Where's the doors?
Right here. Just as the BMP2 and the 1 is right there. You see it?
Roger that, sir.
You load in from the rear or from above. Just as the BMP 1 and 2 can. Alright, let's move on towards over here. Is ZSU 23, also known as the Shilka. ZSU 23, you guys take a little circle around it. ZSU 23, the 23 stands for 23 millimeters. So, which means that the ZSU, also on the Shilka, has 23 millimeter autocannons. Now, can y'all see how many autocannons it has?
4, Sergeant.
4. As much scary I called out as scary as I described the BTR, Alpha, BMP2, and the BMP3. This time you got 4 autocannons engaging instead of 1. However, though, the Shilka was designed to be a mobile anti-aircraft weapon system for the Russian armed forces. And if any other armed forces grab these, they're using these also as a mobile anti-aircraft weapon system. So it was built to engage not our modern aircraft, but our previous fixed wing aircrafts and our rotary wing aircrafts. However, though it does not pack that much damage when in relevance to their A-10s. Their A-10s were built to withstand the Shilka with some rounds from the Shilka. However, just imagine yourself getting engaged by 4 autocannons. Now, the turret is fixed to be able to engage down on the ground as well, which means it can also engage troops as well. So, as much as I told you about the BMP-3 being an infantry killer, the Shilka can be somewhat scarier as the BMP-3 because of it having 4 23 millimeter autocannons. So, if it's on a hill, it can engage us very effectively, just as a regular ZU can as well. ZU is also an autocannon as well, but it's not mobile, it's static. And that is meant to be used to engage ground troops and AA. I'm sorry, as well as air assets. Alright, not much I need to tell you guys about the Shilka, other than it is used to destroy any of our assets. Now, if this thing is in the area, don't expect any resupply, reinsert, extraction, or insertion because of this thing being very deadly to our air assets. Things like this causes our pilots to actually fly with the Earth, or map the Earth, which is MOE. Reason for that is because they have to travel within a tree line, so then it doesn't get detected by the radars of the Shilka. So if you see our pilots transporting, if you are ever in the bird of the Chinook or the Blackhawk, and you realize you're traveling within the elevation of the tree lines, then that means that you're going into a hot LZ. The LZ with a lot of Chilkas and Tunguskas in the area. Now, the BMP-3 is taking the place of the Tunguska, but the Tunguska has somewhat of a tiger skin. It's a little bit lighter screen with some brown dots around it. Tunguska has a spinning radar dish. The radar dish looks more of like a C or a cone-ish way. So, you notice how this radar dish is static? Tunguska has a spinning radar dish. Now, Tunguska has two 30mm autocannons versus the four 23mm autocannons that Chilka has. It also has 8 surface-to-air missiles equipped with it as well. Now, Tunguska was built to combat the A-10 and all the other built U.S. airframes, fixed-wing airframes. As I told you before, the A-10 was built to withstand the Chilka. So, now with Tunguska is more of a bigger threat to our air assets than the Chilka is because it has those surface-air missiles and an improved caliber of autocannon turrets. Now, imagine our A-10 pilots having to dodge surface-to-air missiles and at the same time trying to trick the Tunguska that is being engaged by with those 30mm autocannons. So it's being engaged by 30mm autocannons and trying to evade those missiles. So there's two things now that the pilots have to be engaged, try to avoid or evade, versus what Chilka all it has to do is just evade the 23mm rounds. You guys get what I'm trying to say to you? You guys get what I'm trying to say to you? If not, don't worry about it. You'll notice it soon enough when you get into these operations. Any questions to Chilka and Tunguska?
Negative, Sergeant.
All right.
Oh,
You guys are able to see these things very easily as well. While some walls aren't high enough to these radar dishes. If you see spinning radar dishes, it's Tunguska. If you see static ones, it's the Chilka. And you could tell the Chilka which way the front is facing. We see just by looking at the white drum. If that white drum is on the left-hand side, then you know the back of it is on the right, or at least the back of the turret is to the right. So come on the other side to engage them. You can engage these compartments as well. The engine compartment is right there. You notice you can see that exhaust right there. If you hit these from the rear and the sides, like any other armored piece, the rear and the sides are always the weakest. The front is always the strongest. Any questions to Chilka and Tunguska?
Negative, Sergeant.
Alright. Come on, these are other variants of the BMPs. This one right here, it does not have the 30mm autocannon. That's what the BMP-2 has. It just has a normal tank cannon. And if you notice as well, it has 7.62 coaxial machine gun mounted on the left-hand side, which is to us our right. But it still has that anti-tank guided missile. ATGM, anti-turret missiles. And this other BMP right here only has a 7.62 coaxial machine gun, and mounted to the rear is a mortar tube. So this is a mobile artillery piece designed to send firing missions and then relocate to prevent any enemy infantry, which is us, on locating it and taking it out. So if you get engaged by mortars, and you heard it from somewhere and you push in that position and it's not there anymore, then I'm saying you probably got engaged by this armored piece. Alright, let's move on over here. Move on towards MBT's main battle tank. Main battle tanks that should normally be seen is the T-70, 80, and 90. You will rarely see T-100. But during an FTX cycle, whenever we go over vehicle PID, they always will put in the T-100 for you to see. Now, this right here is just a 1070. We usually don't put T-60, 70, 80. It's because this one main reason. I'm sorry, T-70, 80, and 90. But this main reason. You as a infantryman in a rifle squad will never ever engage a main battle tank. So that's why we don't need to show you all three variants. And the fourth variant, which is the T-100. We as infantrymen in a rifle squad, our weapon systems that we have does nothing but piss off the main battle tank. If you hit it with your 5.56, 7.62, your regular AT-4s, all you're gonna do is hit it and let it figure out, or let it know, okay, there's someone around here, let me look for him. And all it has to do is turn this turret and it'll find you. Do not anger one of these things. If you see it, all you gotta do is hide behind cover. It'll never know that you're there. Unless you decide to peek out from the cover and look for it. Now, the Javelin and the Maz were designed to engage these heavy armored pieces, like the main battle tank. So, there's always some way you can engage stuff like this. Any questions so far?
Negative.
Okay. Now, there's some cases where you guys are left with the worst case scenario. Sometimes the anti-tank armored teams, anti-tank specialist teams within weapon squads are too far away to either see or engage. They'll never be too far away to engage, but they're too far away, are in a position where they can't see the main battle tank, or if they're not attached to your squad. The best way to engage them is within these 3 ways. Yep, that's why I always stream those. Alright, now the side will not do that much of an impact. Sometimes. You gotta be within less than 50 meters to at least pack a big punch within the side of this main battle tank. Notice there's no spacing. They made sure there was no spacing. These tracks are more of a bigger width, if you notice as well. There's no spacing between the tracks and this protection right here, so you can't put a rocket between that and can penetrate through the armor. They made sure of that. They fixed their little mess up they did with the BMPs. However, if you can hit it, hit it. Now, here's one thing that is so big you cannot miss. The turret. The turret's so big you could easily put a rocket on that turret. If I'm sitting within 50 meters, less than 50 meters, I could put a rocket around that turret, but it's so big enough for me to actually put my sights on it. If it was small, I wouldn't dare engage it, like such as the actual tip of the turret. You can't engage, you can't put a rocket on that. But the actual body of the turret, you could put a rocket on that. It's not hard to miss it. That's something you want to engage if you have the sides of the armor piece, if you're able to engage that. The turret's looking to the left though, all you see is the back of it, and the back of it is very protected. Alright, let's move on towards over here. And there's a log right here to protect the back of the armored piece. Because, of course, the log would get penetrated. But the log will protect the stuff that are inside of our rockets. As soon as the rocket penetrates the armor, it protects the stuff inside of our rockets to get inside the armor piece, start dancing around, and killing any infantrymen inside of there. Just as RPGs, the RPGs have, I don't know what to call them anymore, I forgot names of them. But it has these type of things inside of the RPG. And when the RPG penetrates through in the armor, it opens up the armor piece to allow this type of piece to get inside of the body. And when it gets inside of the body, it bounces around and it kills anything that is around it or injures anything that it touches. So our rockets almost do exactly the same thing. So this log right here protects it from getting inside or getting through. However, though, still could make this thing go catastrophic. We got an engine compartment, exhaust right here in front of our face. Put a rocket right there. Of course, like I said, when you put some flames right next to some fuel or any fumes, the flame gets bigger. And right here, the rocket will immediately make this thing go catastrophic. Now, if you're in an elevated position, if this turret is somewhat turned or whatever, or if you somewhat in an angle, you can engage these other exhausts. This is where the actual engine compartment is at.
Yes, Sergeant. Yes,
Alright, so the turret is turned to the left or the right. It might be more easier to see it and engage it. But it's faced towards the front. You have to be towards the rear. You have to be angled up to the rear and in an elevated position to engage that. If not, like I said, I always tell you guys, just engage the turret if you're in an elevated position. Any questions on main battle?
Negative, Sergeant.
Alright. So you always engage in main battle tank when you see it?
Hell no.
Negative.
No. That's what I just told you was the worst case scenario if you have to engage it. And the M1368-4 gives you a more better chance of making this thing go catastrophic than what the log can. If you have the log, you have to be within 25 meters, so at least get a good shot. Alright, let's move on towards lighter armored vehicles now. We're all done with the medium to heavy armored. I'm on to the very light armored. well, light vehicles. I shouldn't say armored, because this right here is not armored. These are the enemy's troop transport vehicles. Notice they're not protected. There's no mounted gun onto it. Best way to engage these vehicles, if you see the back of it, just start using your M4s and kill the troops in the back. Or you could use your M249 or M240. No need to waste your rocket. Never waste your rocket on a Ural or a gas. And let me tell you what these are as well. One to your right is a Ural, one to your left is a gas. Never waste a rocket. However, you can use your HEDP round. A couple, 2 or 3 rounds to the engine compartment will make it go catastrophic. That means to the front. You put some rounds where the cargo space is at. Hopefully you might destroy the cover. Some rounds might penetrate through that cover and kill infantrymen that are inside. If you see the front of these troop transport vehicles, just shoot the driver, then shoot the passenger. And then get your grenadiers to engage them with team leaders. Tell your grenadiers, alright, put some rounds on out there. Make this thing go catastrophic. Now, the biggest danger that these things poses to us is that if you see the back of this truck, the 2 infantrymen, they're on the seats right next to this this door, cargo door or ramp. Those allow them to shoot out. Those are shootout positions. So they're able to engage us if they see us. So that's what makes it one of the. That's what makes those are one of the dangers of it. If you see the back of it, that's why I always see you guys to engage them immediately when you see the back of this troop transport vehicle. And that's the same thing with the gas and any other vehicle that you see that looks just like this. Any questions with the gas and your own?
Negative,
Sergeant.
Follow me. Alright, these two are the last vehicles, enemy vehicles that you'll be seeing, ground vehicles you'll be seeing in this identification course, but there's a lot more that you'll see out in the AO that we don't have listed here. These two right here are both UAZs. Now the one on your right is a AGS-30. Oh, it's mounted with the AGS-30. It's an automatic grenade system. It's a automatic grenade launcher. And AGS means automatic grenade system. This is automatic grenade launcher that launches 30mm rounds at you. AGS-30 is very effective. If you imagine yourself having only a semi-automatic firing mode with your grenade launcher, imagine having an automatic firing mode with your grenade launcher. The one to the left is mounted with a Dushkum. Has 12.7 rounds, not even 7.62, 12.7, sorry, 50 caliber rounds, not even 12.7. Very, very effective to us. Now, both of these are what you call armored trucks, or gun trucks, I mean to say. They're not technicals. Technicals are civilian vehicles, or vehicles that were not designed to have a ring on it that allows the turret to spin around, like you see this right here. Some civilian vehicles only have a turret with a stand, a static weapon with a turret, with stand, I need to say, stand on it, that allows the turret to be up there. Now the turret's always faced towards the front. With those technicals, that static weapon is only able to turn about within maybe left to right, about 10 degrees left to the right. You can't turn the whole all the way through 60 degrees. Those are what you call that's what you call technicals. They're not designed to be combat vehicles. But moving on though, these gun trucks can be engaged very easily. As long as you shoot the gunner first, then shoot the driver, it's no longer your worry at the moment. However though, these can still be remounted if you just kill the gunner and driver, because the engine's still operational. So as long as a driver hops inside of it or a gunner hops inside of it, or somebody hops inside this vehicle, it can be relocated to a different position, and someone can just hop up to that gun, wait for us to pop up from position, and it starts lighting us up. Especially with a AGS-30 somewhere around. If we shoot a gunner, don't think that this vehicle is no longer a threat to us. Like I said, a driver could just stop somewhere, hop in the gunner seat, wait for us to come into his line of sight, and start engaging it. So what you gotta do is put some HE rounds on it. Make it go catastrophic. Disable the wheels. Disable the wheels, it will not be a threat to us in the AO at that day, during this mission. However though, it can be recovered. If the enemies have a tow truck or whatever, it could be picked up and it can put wheels back on it. One of the things we like to do is put demolition blocks on them so then the enemies can no longer use them. But we usually save our demolition blocks for other static weapons. Any questions with the gun truck?
Oh, sorry.
Negro Sergeant.
Follow me. Alright, this right here is Mi-24 HIP. It's a, this is what you call a gunship. It's equipped with various rocket pods and missiles. Now,
Isn't
however,
that the Hind?
yes, Hind, I'm sorry. Mi-24, no. I'll get me confused. I just messed me up.
Yeah, it's the Hind. The Hind is
Hind,
the gun
yeah,
truck.
it's the Hind. The hip is right here to your left, Mi-8. Now, like I said, Mi-24 is a gunship, but also has a troop cargo compartment, so it can carry troops within it as well. So this is what you call some overly powered, protected troops inside of that. So if they want to protect your troops that they are trying to insert, it can either fly over the AO, and troops could parachute out of the airframe, which has happened in our previous operation. Or it could just land. If you see it landing, you know for sure it's probably dropping off troops. Then you just put one rocket right in it, and it'll go catastrophic. However, though, when this thing is in the air, you could do nothing to your ammunition. Does nothing to it. The only person that can engage is either the javelin, or I'm sorry, anti-tank specialist team that has a javelin can engage it, or a M240 Bravo team can engage it. The 7.62 rounds can penetrate those warders and hit the tail warder and make it go spinning. Go hit Hellwire and make it either crash to something if it wants to. But you as infantryman in a rifle squad or if you're in a weapon squad that only has a Mons or whatever, you cannot engage this armor piece. All you're doing is letting it know that we're here. Just let it fly over, hide behind some cover, hit the deck, and just continue to engage in the enemy ground infantrymen that are engaging you. Sometimes these things are flying over for reconnaissance and meant to distract you, to put your attention on them so that their infantrymen can maneuver on you guys and kill you. Any questions with the Hind?
No, Sergeant.
Alright, come over here. This is Mi-8 HIP. Variants of the HIP. Both of them are armored. However, though, we call this one to the left just Mi-8 HIP. We call the one to the right a gunship, or armored HIP. So just say, alright, there's Mi-8 HIP, and you just say there's Mi-8 gunship. That's how you can distinguish between the two. The one to your right has 8 rocket pods. The one to your left doesn't have any rocket pods. All it has is just door gunner positions, or door gunner seats, or static positions, or whatever you want to call them. Same thing with engaging them as with the Mi-24. Just call out and they ignore it. Keep your attention to the ground infantryman. Your squad leader is usually the one who will keep the platoon updated and keep his eyes on it at different times. But your eyes need to be fixed on the ground infantryman. Everyone understand me?
Yes, sir.
Alright, come follow me now towards our ground, at all of our, not ground, but all of our friendly assets now. This is it for all the enemy assets. First off is the Apache, the H-64 Apache. This is a longbow variant. Apache is equipped with Hellfire missiles and with 2 rocket pods. Also has a Gatling gun that has high explosive rounds. Also, the Apache has thermal and night vision capabilities, and with a camera that allows them to give us reconnaissance when it needs to. Normally, you'd be seeing the Apache doing more reconnaissance than escorting, but whenever you see the Apache coming in, flying along with our troop transport birds, that means that it's escorting our birds. So you usually see the Apache doing more reconnaissance doing escorting, but sometimes it will escort our troop transport birds. Now, the Apache does do some of our cast runs. However, it does not fly over the AO when it does the cast. Close air support. Sometimes it would be about a click or two away from the AO, or about a click or two up in the sky, out of the view of any of us. out of the view of a naked eye. You have to actually have some binos to see them out in the sky. Now, they can also be 2 to 4 clicks. I mean by meters. I mean by kilometers by ground, not by altitude, away from the AO, behind a community of hills. What I mean by community of hills is that they're surrounded by hills, and they're between a community of hills. That gives them protection all the way around. That way, no ground vehicles will be able to see them. When they're given a firing mission, all they have to do is that if there's lasers marked on something, all they have to do is pick up from that hill, launch one of their Hellfire missiles, and the Hellfire missiles will automatically target the lasers and follow the laser. Go towards the laser and hit the target. So the Apache can just peek up from the hill, launch his Hellfire missiles, pick back down the hill, and then wait for his BDA. Get this battle damage assessment, and they'll know whether or not to get hit or not. So that means that our enemies will get engaged by our Apache pilots, and they'll never know what they get engaged by. All they know is that it got hit by something, by a rocket. Can't figure out where it's coming from, which makes the Apache one of the most deadliest mortary birds that we have to our disposal. Any questions with the Apache?
No, Sergeant.
Alright. If you do an about face, you'll see the little bird. Oh, actually, I forgot one thing though. The Apache's call sign is Warlord. Now, the little bird, its call sign is Lancer. Lancer has to the left Gatling gun, and to the right a rocket pod. It also has thermal and night vision capability camera at the bottom of the bird. Said something to you. Hey, thanks for the host. I don't know. Now, the little bird. Oh, I wanted to say I got distracted. Alright, so the little bird is also capable of doing reconnaissance, not reconnaissance, but reconnaissance for us most of the time. It also does cast runs for us. However, though, when it does a cast run, it follows map of the Earth. Also, just as with our birds, whenever there's a choke in the AO. Reason why it does that, because the little bird is one of the few airframes that is not that much maneuverable. It cannot maneuver as quickly as an Apache, the Chinook, or the Black Hawk can. So because of that, it has to fly along the tree line. Now, when it approaches one of the enemy ground vehicles, that's when it'll go above the tree line, engage the enemies, and then immediately wave off in a 45-degree angle away from where they just engaged from, and then wait from its BDA. But most of the time, like I said, it'll escort our airframes. All the time, it'll escort our airframes. And you also see it far away, giving reconnaissance for us as well. Any questions with Lancer?
No, Sergeant.
All right.
No, sir.
Thanks, Sergeant.
Last airframe. Try to quick this up that we have enough time for the rest of the stuff. The last airframe right here is the A-10. A-10's A-10 Thunderbolt. The A-10's call sign is Thunder. And the A-10 has also a Gatling gun, also high explosive, and has various rockets and missiles equipped with it, and bombs as well. A-10 is one of our best fixed-wing airframes that we have at our disposal. That when it comes to doing any cast runs for us, it can take out any armor piece that is at us to our threat, and take out any ground troops that we need to take out. Which makes the A-10 one of our best friends when it comes to ground troops. It was designed to do cast runs for the ground infantrymen because there's not that many airframes at our disposal that actually does cast runs versus dogfights for air superiority. Any questions with the A-10?
No,
Sergeant.
Sergeant.
Thanks, Sergeant.
Alright. Move over to the last two airframes. Alright, to your left, my right is the CH-47 Chinook. This one right here, to your left. The CH-47 Chinook is more maneuverable out of the Black Hawk, which is to your right. But I'm continuing on talking about the Chinook. The Chinook can carry at least 2 squads, plus a couple more infantrymen within this cargo space. It is also capable of carrying any cargo that it wants to, such as any of our ground vehicles. Could carry ammo crates for us as well. Now, if we move on towards the Blackhawk can only carry a squad-sized element plus 4 more guys. Could carry total 14 people inside of it, and then it just get full. Now that depends on if the door gunner slots are taken. If door gunner's positions are taken, they can only carry 12 guys. So a squad-sized element plus 2 more people. Now to continue, the Blackhawk is less maneuverable. However, you never see it being used that much in the AO. If it does be used, then you'll be seeing about 6 Blackhawks in the AO because only 1 squad can fit inside of it, and you need enough Blackhawks to fit the Havoc 4, Dagger, and Company HQ. Any questions to these 2 airframes?
No, sorry.
All right, I'll give you guys back to Sergeant Margiata for mounting, dismounting of their mortar airframe.
All right, thank you, Sergeant. Gentlemen, take a stroll over here with me.
This is my break. Alright, this is my break now. Like I said, thanks Adaran for the host. Love it very much.
Alright, as you see behind me, this the fucking Black Hawk.
And yes,
Now,
Incredible Scree 810 Thunderbolt 2. No, I didn't say forgot to. No.
The formation that is going to be done when you are mounting, or should I say, about to mount this airframe. So, we're at base, birds on the fucking pad, and we are told to prepare to mount into the airframe. Well, this is what it's going to look like behind me. Alpha and Bravo fire teams will
What does that mean, conked out?
split
Not
sides,
used to that.
so Alpha will be on one side of the bird, Bravo will be on the other side of the bird. Now, the reason why the team to my left, your right, has 1 extra man is
Oh, you
because
fell asleep.
the squad
Rip.
Mike is getting on that side with that team. The person that is kneeling down behind me,
Coming for our last operation for Task Force Charlie. I don't know about you, Adaran,
out
but I
of
can.
formation, is the squad leader. Squad leader needs to receive permission to board the helicopter from the pilot.
Alright, this portion will only take about
obviously
maybe
they
15
board.
minutes at most.
So he'll ask for permission to board. The
And
pilot
then,
give
but the longest one
grant
as well.
his permission.
But yeah, the identification course takes an hour.
At
It
that
takes
point,
forever. Talk about
the
everything.
squad leader calls up to Alpha Bravo, tells them, "All right, Alpha Bravo,
I say again. Oh, I was saying we fell asleep. I was
board
saying
the
that I couldn't
helicopter,
wait for Task
board
Force
bird,
Charlie's
whatever
last
he wants to
operation.
say." Alpha Bravo, just do a quick, affirm, Bravo copies, Alpha copies, and that's it. Now, you're gonna get in the bird one at a time
The identification course takes
while
about
you're
an hour
in fire
long.
team files.
45
Doesn't
minutes or
mean
so.
that
I gotta
Bravo
find some
can
way
only
to shorten
get
it.
in
30 minutes long, but
after
I like to
Alpha.
tell them.
They both can be
I
boarding
like
the
to
bird
actually tell
at
these
the
guys
same
very
time,
specific
just
things about these armor pieces. People just
in
don't
a
know.
file.
Oh, I forgot to point one thing out.
One
I'll remember
person
that. I'll
in front of the
point it out
other.
to them.
boards.
Hey guys, remind me to point out that they
Now-
are they need to know that
Yeah, if you're not the fire
difference
team
between,
leader, you don't have
smoking,
to call yourself
cooking-
in. But if you're the AR,
no, I already said that
grenadier,
during day one, so don't worry
rifleman,
about that. Never mind.
you're gonna call yourself in over your team that
Yeah, hopefully it'd be good.
not
I'm just
in,
really, I really want to know which
to
mission are we
Smith's
doing? Are
in,
we
Margiotta's in,
are we
Floyd's in,
taking
Gilman's
that island, or are we taking
Smith's
that
in.
the
Once
southeast
the
of
team
the map?
lead
I don't know.
hears that
really
all
wanna
his
know.
guys are in, he'll call up the
I
squad
just can't wait.
and say Alpha
And that's
or
and
Bravo
that's the thing.
is all
I
in.
just I love
Now,
love
once
for my
the
own
squad leader
operations to
gets
happen. I just can't wait another week.
the
I just wish we
all-in
could do
from
operations
his
every week
fire teams and his
with my
mic,
squad, because I love my squad so much.
he will relay to the
Dave
pilot
turned out and
that
became like
so-and-so
the
squad
baddest
is all in and
mofos out there.
ready to lift. At that point, the pilot will
And I would be
lift off from
surprised if
the
my squad does
pad
not get
under his
the
discretion.
Superior
and
Unit Award.
move to, well,
I'd be so surprised.
fly off to the fucking LZ. Now, while in this load-in formation, which is basically 2 fire team files, the way you enter the bird is the way you get out. So if you have your fucking gun at the low ready with a fucking mag in it,
With Bravo coming in
no
from
mag
south,
in it, is the
I
same
mean,
way you're
that's
gonna get
Bravo's
out.
coming
So
in from
make sure
south,
you
where?
got a fucking mag in. You're ready to rock and roll at the high ready, because that's how you're gonna get out. Now also, with this airframe, the side you get in on is the side you get out of. Now, the 2 team leads are going to take the door guns. The door gun on my left, your right, is labeled crew chief. That is the side. If you're on my left side,
Oh, okay.
and you're a team lead,
Not sure
you want
whether
to pick
Bravo
the
or
crew
Charlie
chief.
will, Task Force Bravo or Task Force Charlie will
But
actually assault the port itself or just the surrounding areas. Yes, by B or C.
It's plain
I
and
mean,
simple
each task
for
force.
if you are getting in on my right side
Yeah.
as a team lead.
I just really want to know which one we're assaulting,
will
but I guess
tell
we
you
only will
to
know until the
be a gunner.
operator comes out, and the operator will come out like Friday or so because of the
So
task force
remember,
planning.
left side airframe,
Is, always on Thursdays.
crew chief, right side is the gunner if you happen to be a team lead. So this is how you mount up in this airframe on base. Now, if we're getting picked up in a hot AO, this airframe, you do not fucking sit in this fucking formation and ask permission to get in and fucking take your time to get in. No. You fucking rush the helicopter, get in as fast as you can, making sure you call in up to your team lead.
Okay, you have 2-day
that
course.
you're in.
Okay.
The
So what's
faster you
that
get in, the
course
faster you
about?
call up, the faster he can reply to the squad lead, the faster you can get out of a fucking AO, because this helicopter is a giant target, and the enemy would love to blow us up. So,
Hoping we have enough time for
on base, friendly area,
TKB. I don't know.
load in
I
like
think
this.
So.
Hot out
If
AO.
we're able to do this within 15 minutes and do
you just need to
the
get the
mountain
fuck in on the
dismounting
bird.
within 15 minutes, we might have some time.
Alright. Walk
Oh,
on
Canadian
down here.
firearms safety course. Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot you Canadians with your firearms. You guys are the only ones with the, my opinion, the best gun safety law.
Alright, this is how you dismount the airframe. This airframe, everybody in the fucking helicopter.
So, like,
can
you
jump
do you go to a hotel or
dismount
something
at the same
when you're doing
time,
your
have no
your
problem.
course or something?
The Chinook is a different story, but I'll go over that later. But this airframe, as soon as you touch the ground,
I've been feeling so bored this whole weekend. I mean, this week. Like, the days come by so slow, and I have nothing to do. So I don't start working until like next month.
I mean, they shouldn't have to tell you to get out once those fucking wheels touch
In a
the
hotel,
deck,
which is kind of
you're
lame. Rip.
fucking bailing. You're getting into a security position here. You're fucking getting in a half circle on each side. You get as much as you can. on
Okay,
a
okay.
360 security. Now, it doesn't matter where you
So
go,
did you buy yourself a firearm?
as long as you're picking up a sector. Obviously, you see the people that are kneeling. That's your squad mic and squad leader. The other 8 gentlemen are Alpha.
And if so, you buy
Bravo
yourself a
fire
firearm.
team.
Fine. Oh,
Now,
need a
this
license
is
first.
too
Oh, okay.
close for my comfort.
So then, how do you guys
These
practice
guys
on
bailing out.
your safety on the firearm if you can't buy a firearm or
I
use a
would
firearm?
personally like to see at least out to here. The reason why is you just want to make room.
Trying to change my host notification
the other
sound.
people
I've been wanting to do
jumping
this
out.
way back then, but
And if the bird
I don't know if
happens
you
to
guys
go
ever
down
watched
when
Star
it's
Wars: The
falling
Clone
off,
Wars
or are
short,
when it's on the
not short,
ground,
but TV
you
show,
might
the
be
recent
lucky
one, the
enough
3D
to,
one.
not
And when they did the second battle of
trapped.
Geonosis, they General Kenobi was
So this
his
is it.
forces
When the bird
were
touches down, you're
were
jumping out.
stuck and
you're
stranded,
getting this
but they were trying
security.
to defend that rendezvous
Just like
point.
you got in,
So then General
you're getting out,
Skywalker's
you need a
forces
call
get there,
that
and General
you're out.
his name, I got the other Jedi Master,
Because obviously
but so he was trying to hold that
the squad
point,
leader needs to call up to the
and
pilot
then
and let him know his
and
squad
they're about
is
to get
out.
overrun
So he
by the
needs to know
Geonosians.
if Alpha and Bravo
But then
are
reinforcements
all
finally
out.
got there, and that's when General Skywalker and the other general finally got there,
Now,
along with the reinforcements that Admiral
Let's just say for shits and
Lauren was able
giggles,
to spare,
you
with
are
the air
fire
support he was
team
able to
leader
spare.
that is boarding the left
And
side.
they were
of
saying
me.
reinforcements
You're right.
reinforcements
And
have
you get on
arrived.
the wrong
So I was
gun.
trying to I
So
want to get that sound
when
file for my host notification.
You are, excuse me, when the helicopter touches down and you dismount, the two team leads are on the wrong side of the helicopters from their teams. Fucking leave it
The
like
chicken
that.
or egg situation.
They don't need to fucking
It all starts with the safety course. Okay.
play musical chairs or some shit when they get out and run around the helicopter and get
Yeah, I
back
think this is
down
gonna
with their
finish it very
team.
quickly because
That's a waste of time.
is fucking. I
And
don't
the
know if it's
bird
talking
needs
fast
to
or me. I
get
don't know.
out of the
But
fucking area
Sergeant Margiotta is
as
going through
fast as
it
possible.
very smooth and fast.
So if you get in,
Versus
when
me,
you
I'll be
get
talking,
kicked out on the
yapping,
wrong
yapping,
side, stay
talking about
on the
different
wrong
stuff.
side. Don't
I'm
try to
going over
fix
this.
it.
But he's going through it very
Not a
quick, so I think
fucking
we'll be
deal
finished with
breaker.
this within 2 minutes, I guess, or 9 minutes. I need to work
Fucking
on my own
moments
sound
after
effects.
the bird fucking lifts off, you're gonna be fucking reunited with your team.
Yeah,
Because
that
squad
was my
leaders
whole
begin
goal
to
though,
move
to
in
get
orders,
sound files
going
from
in a
Star
certain
Wars,
direction. So it's
so
not
the
like you're
reinforcements have
forever
arrived for
away.
the host.
So just stay.
I haven't
on
thought
the
of
wrong side.
a follow alert yet, so
Nothing
let's
bad
relate
will
Star
happen
Wars to
to
Clone
you.
Wars.
No one's
Because
gonna fucking
I'm a
yell
person
at
who
you.
just loves the Clone Wars part
Stay on
of
the
Star
wrong
Wars.
side. You'll
for
get
some
yelled
reason.
at if you go running
But,
across the fucking front
I
or
haven't,
back of the helicopter.
but I've watched
Especially the
those
back.
TV
Obviously, the
series
tail road is back there.
3
fucking
times so far now.
fuck you
First
up.
times when it actually came
So,
out, that was when I was like
don't
middle school,
run
which school
back
1
there.
and 2. And I watched the second time on Netflix, and I watched the third time on Netflix
So,
this year. I
that's
think during
when you
the
first
end of winter,
dismount.
beginning of spring. No, I think I watched
Obviously,
it
everything
during the
must be
beginning of
fast
spring,
because you're
the third time.
dismounting and
But yeah, though, I've been looking for stuff for sound files
get out
for
quick.
trying to figure out what would be a good sound
Alright,
file
let's
for
move on
to
now.
follow, and donations and subscribing.
So that is it. Now,
Be right back, actually.
so I did go over mounting back up in a hostile area. Yes, you do want to get in as fast as possible. Now coming in a hot LZ
All right, be right back.
or
guys.
leaving
I'll
a
find
hot AO, fucking those door guns are there
All right,
for a
talk to you
reason.
later soon.
Use
Well, I
them.
would love to
Don't
get
be
myself
afraid.
trained to read the.
Got I don't
Fight
know,
skills well.
1,000+ rounds of
Do I have to
fucking
talk to you
7.62
about that?
to utilize. Fucking make them happen.
Yeah, see you later.
Make
Adrian.
them fucking useful. So that is the basics of this airframe, mounting and dismounting. For this airframe and the other one, the Chinook, we do have an air assault school, which will better familiarize yourself with the intricacies of air assault. But for time constraints, this is the abridged version. So any questions on this airframe in general?
No, Sergeant.
Excellent. All right, let's follow me over to the Chinook, gentlemen. All right. So this airframe is capable of holding half a platoon. You got a squad to your left, my right. You would have a fucking mirrored version of that way y'all are standing. They would be off on an angle, preparing to board. Now, this gentleman here is the fucking squad leader. He's waiting to get permission to board, just like the Blackhawk. Once that happens, the boarding process goes pretty much just like if you're in a Blackhawk. You take your time, one in front of the other. You push up, you wait your turn. Guy in front of you gets in, you get in. You call that you're in. It's all the same thing. Now,
Alright, back. Sometimes we have our Apaches
you're gonna
escorting
have two
us,
squads closing in on
the transport birds,
have
which is
only two
the
door
rotary
guns.
bird,
Well, it's
the
first come, first
Blackhawk
serve.
or Chinook. And
Usually
if
it's
not
door
them,
gun
but the
of
Apaches
one's
do it
team
rarely,
lead and the door
sometimes.
gun of another team
But
lead,
the
because
but most of
two
the time,
team
it's
leads
always the little bird that
going
escorts
into
our
the airframe
rotary
first.
wing pilots.
So, if you're a team lead,
Going off comms
might
about
not
2 more
get
miles. Gotta
a
get some stuff.
door gun slot. It's all right. So, you're in a squad file. Move in. Wait your turn. Board. Call that you're in. Up to your fire team leader. Fire team leader will call up to his squad leader once everybody's all in. Alright. Let's go over to this one. Alright. So, there is no getting out on the wrong side of this airframe because it spits you out the back. Now, you have to go in your turn to get out of here. If you have too many people dismount this airframe at once, Arma happens. People get thrown up in the fucking rotors. Just all kind of stupid stuff happens. So, we have to take our time getting out of this airframe. Now, the way that happens is we dismount from the rear to the front of the helicopter. So the closest people to this ramp are going to be the first ones, well, first and second one off. So
I'm gonna talk to y'all over radio because y'all not gonna hear me in the helicopter. Alright, so the seat I'm in right now is the person who will get off this airframe first. So now I'm moved over to this seat. This guy will be the second one off. Now I can't... Let me get out.
I can't make it change to a seat that I want besides those two. But like I showed you, that person will be the first one off. That one will be the second one. And now, the third one will be the guy in this seat that was sitting next to this guy. So, first one off, second one, then you move down, third, and then fourth, and then fifth. As you can see, you're zigzagging down to the front. Obviously, you want the gunners, door gunners, to get off last because they possess the most security and biggest fucking weapon system for security airframe. So you want them off last. But that's how it happens. Touches down. Fucking somebody's yelling out the fucking
Alright.
dismount.
I am officially
You're
back.
zigzagging from back to front. So it's kind of hard to do it when you're in third person.
Hold on, Miss
So
Bill,
you
calm.
might have to get into first person and just free look by holding left alt and just look to your left if you're on this side of the bird, and if you're on, that side of the bird, you're gonna fucking look that way. So right and left. And just when you see that person disappear in front of you or next to you, that's when you know it's your turn. Now, if they don't dismount, count to like 1, 2, And if they haven't dismounted, fucking go. Dismount. They
Hey,
could
Hartman,
be
Hartman,
having
Hartman,
fucking
Hartman,
leg
Hartman.
issues, fucking desync, whatever. Don't hold up the rest of the
Gave up watching on
airframe
Twitch.
from dismounting to wait for that person. Give him a couple seconds. If he doesn't dismount, fucking dismount anyways. Now, when you dismount, this here behind y'all is only one squad, so it gets pretty packed with 2 fucking squads, you know, dismounting. That's 40 people,
It's going great so far.
20 people, fucking 20 plus people, because you might have a few extra people riding here. So you got 20 something people dismounting, trying to find a fucking spot, so it gets a little crowded. But once again, you have no set spot. You can find a spot to lay down and cover a sector, and it might be next to 2 people from your another squad. So you don't have to go searching around for your buddy's member
One
or
second,
your
Hartman.
squad
I'm talking.
and get in with them. Just find a place, fill that slot, and cover a sector. Now, the 2 first people to get off, which are the 2 seats that I switch between, are going to be these 2 gentlemen that are looking at the 12 o'clock position of the airframe.
All right, so yeah.
Them over
What
here.
was I saying?
So
The class is
obviously,
going so far great. We may have time. We may have time for next.
So obviously, if I'm on this side of the seat, I'm gonna do this number.
Sorry, but yeah, my mom's deaf,
That's
so
it.
there's some things she doesn't get on the phone. So I was helping her
all you're
out,
doing is
telling her
fucking
some
getting
things
out,
about what it meant on
heading
her
gun,
phone. She
running
always have
around
questions.
to your
She's
position
so
there,
confused and things.
going prone,
But yeah,
and covered
what
your
was I saying?
sector.
But yeah, the class is going great so far. Hopefully, we have enough time for
happens
promote.
On that side, the guy on
CB.
that side will be there.
Hopefully, most likely, I think we might have enough time.
So pretty
If
straightforward.
we go over convoy and procedures for 15 minutes, that may give us enough time.
Same goes with the Blackhawk when you're getting, or if you do happen to get picked up in a hot AO, you want to get in on this bird as quick as possible. I don't care if you're a fucking PB2, get on a gun. If you happen to be the fucking first person to the helicopter, get on a gun. And if you can, start putting down suppressive fire with the fucking miniguns. Don't wait for team lead to get on there. Don't leave the fucking guns unattended when they need to be working. So, if you get the option to get door gunner, take it and start fucking laying down hate. If you can. So, you know, when you're out, obviously you want to call that you're out. When you're in, you want to call that you're in. It's pretty simplistic. Any questions on this airframe, gentlemen?
Negative, Sergeant.
Pleasure.
All right. Take a walk to the land vehicles. And just like the Blackhawk, the way you get in is the way you're going to get out with your fucking weapon. So make sure you're fucking locked and loaded, guns off a safe, and all that good shit. Yeah, copy that, Sergeant. I'm handing you back over to Sergeant Smith, gentlemen.
Alright. And the last two, well, not last, last two friendly assets that we go over. So those two are the last two murdery. This is the last two vehicles in a
I
whole.
don't hear anything if he's.
Can you hear me? Oh, of course. I'm silent. All right. So the last two vehicles, last two friendly assets we go over. So those two rotary wings, the last two friendly rotary wings. But this almost concludes our PID course. That's just the MRAPs. There's two variants MRAPs. The Cougar, which is what you see right here. The one to your left. Your right. My left. That is a Cougar. Now the one to your left, my right, this RG-33 right here, that is an RG-33. RG-33s do not have cages on them. The Cougars have cages around them. Now, do you know what an MRAP is?
Kind of, sort of, Sergeant.
Copy, you want to give it a try?
I'll give you the first word. Mine.
Supposed to protect you from IEDs.
Okay. Well, at least get the description of it. That's good. Alright, so the MRAP, the whole acronym, stands for Mine Resistant Ambush Protected. So these are mine resistant ambush protected vehicles. This protects the infantrymen inside of the vehicle, not outside of the vehicle, and we'll expand on that greatly towards the going on so far. Now, like I said, these vehicles are built to withstand any IEDs, ambush from RPGs, stuff like that, when it may happen. However, though, as soon as the ambush happens, you do not stay inside that vehicle. Just because it protects you does not protect you forever. It cannot withstand 500 RPG rounds, or 2 RPG rounds at least. So you gotta get out of the vehicle as soon as that happens and kill the people that just engaged you. Don't give them another chance to destroy our vehicle, because this vehicle scares them. We have 50 cals mounted on them, or we have the Mark 19 mounted on them. Mark 19 is a AGS, an automatic grenade system, or AGL, I should say, automatic grenade launcher. So those are the two biggest things that will scare them. That is bigger than any of our weapon systems that we have. So they're gonna try their best to destroy it. So when we get ambushed, you immediately dismount, take care of those contacts. Let's continue though. I don't want to get more off topic. So that's what these two vehicles are. We're going to take the Cougars. The Cougars have a option of 6x6. The RG-33s, the highest you have is a 4x6, which means we can only carry a team of plus 2 more guys. So that's 6 total of guys versus a squad that only can carry 10. So the Cougars can carry at least 14 people in it. I'm sorry, 12 to 14. So that's why we'll carry the we'll be riding in the Cougar versus the RG-33. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Negative, Sergeant.
All right, move on towards everything with our mounting and dismounting procedures and some terminology as well. All right, first off is your vehicle position. Now, what is all of the people in the fire team? So, what are the abilities? You got fire team leader. Who else?
Auto rifleman, grenadier, and rifleman.
Yep. All right. So, here are your positions within that billet. Your billet reflects this position in the vehicle. If you're the rifleman, you're the driver. If you're the grenadier, you're the gunner. If you're the vehicle if you're the fire team leader, you're the vehicle commander. The fire team leader is vehicle commander. And if you're the automatic rifleman, you're just the passenger. Like, you pick any passenger seat. Alright. Those are your positions in the fire team. If you are the fire team in charge of the vehicle, remember, like I told you guys earlier during day 1, the whole squad has 2 fire teams. One fire team will be in charge of the vehicle. You're just, throughout the whole op, is make sure you protect the safety of this vehicle and complete the mission. Those are your 2 primary things you gotta think of. Safety of the vehicle and completing the mission. Everyone understand me?
Yes, sir.
Well,
Alright. So those are things you gotta keep in mind of. Now, we're gonna continue. Now, where are the buddy team in a fire team? The default ones we told you guys about.
team leader and automatic rifleman, grenadier and rifleman.
Alright. So, surprisingly enough, your fire teams and within your vehicles would be the driver and gunner is one buddy team, and the vehicle passenger and vehicle commander is another buddy team. So those are your buddy teams. Now these buddy teams come together with a mounting sequence. So the buddy team of the driver and gunner are the first ones to mount into the vehicle. Then after that will be the vehicle commanders, the fire team leader. You're the third person in. Then it's automatic rifleman, and he's the last one in. And one of the reasons why the automatic rifleman is the last one in and last one off. Sorry, ignore that.
It's the last one in,
The first one out is one of the reasons why.
got the fire superiority?
He has a fire superiority. He has the biggest weapon out of all the fire team, minus that big gun we have on top of that truck. So that's the reason why he's gonna be the first one off and the last one on. He can provide the most maximum security and be the first one to be able to engage anybody with the firepower that matches 2 to 3 riflemen. Any questions with that so far?
Negative, Sergeant.
So the automatic rifleman will be the first one off and the last one on to provide the highest level of security. Now, when dismounting, your number one task as the fire team in charge of the vehicle is to secure the vehicle. That means you put that vehicle in the most safest location where it protects it. Do not put it out in the open where it can get destroyed by anything. Everyone understand me?
Cool.
All right.
Awesome.
All right. Next, it's your dismounting basic. You're going to stay at least 8 meters off the vehicle to avoid explosions on or around the vehicle. Now I say again, stay at least 8 meters off of the vehicle to avoid explosions on or around the vehicle. What I just tell you, what does this vehicle protect you from? It protects you if you're the inside of the vehicle, not on the outside of the vehicle. So if an RPG hits the vehicle and you're right next to that vehicle on the outside, you're gonna get hit by that blast. Because those cages are meant there to protect the body of the vehicle. It allows it breaks the shell of that RPG round, so that way the supplements inside that shell will explode and just bounce off of the body of the vehicle, so it does not penetrate through the body. But one thing it does though is open up a hole between that cage. However, though, when those things come out of that shell, it may bounce off onto you because you're sitting right on that vehicle. I'll use the vehicle as cover to protect you from the 5.56 rounds, but don't just stand right on it. James is the vehicle. I'm not gonna stand right here and while the enemies are firing at me with their rifle. With their 5.56 rounds. If I want to use the vehicle as cover, I need to at least stand at least some way around away from it. And I want to be right on it. Alright. Let's move on. Now, whenever we have a herringbone, does everyone know what a herringbone is?
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright, so I don't have to explain what a herringbone is, am I correct?
You might have to, Sergeant.
Okay. Alright, do you see these two vehicles in front of you?
I understand, Sergeant.
Yep, that is a herringbone. So basically, if you're the first Vic, when it's time for you to stop, so stopping as if there's an ID on the road, you're doing the herringbone. If you're at this one point, you do your herringbone. If your convoy commander says herringbone, then you're a herringbone. If you're the first vehicle, you herringbone either left and right. So right now, this vehicle herringbone right. Your job as a vehicle, if you're not the first vehicle, your job is to herringbone the opposite direction of the vehicle that herringbone in front of you. So the second vehicle, herringbone to the left, because the vehicle in front of him herringbone to the right. If you're the third vehicle, where do you herringbone?
Right.
To the right. In relevance to these vehicles, Private James. Do you get it? A little bit?
I understand, Sergeant. I didn't know what it was called.
Okay, copy, cool. Alright, we'll move on then. Alright, so whenever we're in the herringbone, you do not want to cross the road. You want to stay on the side of the vehicle stay on the side your vehicle has herringbone on. So let's say if you're on the left side, if we're in our second Vic, we're going to stay on the left-hand side of the road at all times until it's time for us to mount up and leave. And one reason why.
Road's open.
Road is open. There's a reason why the road was open while we went in the herringbone. There's some reasons. Here he goes. First off, herringbone because it's dismount position. Why you need to move across the road? You probably dismount it and it's time for us to move alongside the road or move up the incline or whatever. If a dismount point details that we have to stop on the left side of the road, every vehicle will stop on the left side of the road. Then we'll do your herringbone. But if this one point was right on this road, you do not need to cross the road. It's time for you to stop the objective. You move with your squad. So usually your squad will stay on your own side of the road. You don't have to cross of it. That's one of the reasons. Number two, you were herringbone partly because you saw an ID on the road. And sometimes it might be an ID we just drove across, but for some reason it didn't blow up. Probably because the enemy is probably controlled by the enemy and they forgot to blow it or whatever. The enemy is trying to get a little more of a closer range. And if you start across the road, you touched off one of those IEDs, it blows up. Now you probably got 2 vehicles go catastrophic, and whoever else was by the lanes of the road got themselves wounded or killed. some more scenarios. Probably the herringbone to allow a vehicle to take point. Maybe some mechanized, mechanized vehicle, like a tank, friendly Bradley or whatever. It could be we have to put a 50 cal in the front because we accidentally have a Mark 19 in the front. And you're gonna slow down the process of our movement or get yourself ran over. And then lastly, most times you always have our machine gunners in our weapon squads. They'll be established on the lanes of the road. So right here, they're on the lanes of the road protecting. So this public comes. If it's infantrymen, the machine gunner teams will take them out. So everyone knows some of the reasons why you don't want to cross the road.
Yes, Sergeant.
All right.
Roger.
All right. Those are very few of many reasons. All right. Next is all of our dismount procedures. So first off is soft dismount. People who dismount during soft dismount would be the AR and the fire team leader. So that second buddy team, or should I say the buddy team with the fire team leader and AR. So it will be the vehicle commander, vehicle passenger. That buddy team will dismount whenever it's a soft dismount. So driver gunner, you stay in the vehicle. Now, you also do a soft dismount if the vehicle is stopped for more than a few minutes or if you're transitioning to maneuver. Now, soft dismount what I just told you is relevance if you're the team in charge of the vehicle. If you're the team that's not in charge of the vehicle, then you dismount along with soft dismount. When every dismount procedure, you always will dismount, no matter what. But if you're the team in charge of the vehicle, this is what you do on these certain types of dismounts. Now next is hard or combat dismount. Hard or combat dismount, the AR, fire team and rifleman dismounts. That's the driver, vehicle commander, and vehicle passenger. You guys are the ones that will dismount. This happens when the vehicle is set to provide overwatch. So the vehicle is in a good position where the driver is no longer needed to drive the vehicle for the majority of that time. Just as if we put a vehicle behind cover and on a hill, then the vehicle is now in a position to provide overwatch as a crew surge weapon. So the vehicle can stay up there by itself, and all the driver has to do is just stick nearby the vehicle, and he can use his weapon system to engage targets as well, without having to stay in the driver's seat. So now we got 4 weapon systems engaging the target instead of just 3, which means the 5mm AR and that turret. Alright, and lastly, full dismount. Full dismount means everyone dismounts out of the vehicle. Any questions on all of the dismount procedures?
Negative, Sergeant.
Alright. Now, full dismount will never happen. It never happens unless these scenarios. If all the tires are blown out of the vehicle, you do a full dismount. If the vehicle is very damaged and we don't want to risk the chances of continuing driving it, then we'll do a full dismount. If the vehicle is about to blow up, you'll do a full dismount. Those are the only times you do a full dismount. If the ammo is out, you'll still drive it. This is our vehicle. Now we can use it. It's only usable now for just transportation. But we'll still use it. Don't be a person that wants to get out of the vehicle because the wheels are damaged out and the vehicle's almost about to blow up. 2-1. This is when I was a team leader, but 2-1's vehicle, their wheels are all blown out. They had no more ammo left, but a few rounds. They had a Mark 19 at this time, and their vehicle was all dirtied up, like it was beated up, like no more cages around it. I tell you, they still kept the vehicle driving, even though it was going at about 5 miles per hour. They kept it with them. So I'm telling this right now is that we will keep our vehicles even if it means it's the last thing we'll have. So don't try to get rid of the vehicle that quickly. Some squad leaders will keep their vehicle to the highest of means. It's the only way to protect our wounded, so we put our wounded in the vehicles to bandage them up because it protects them from fire. Now, if you have to get rid of vehicles, like I said, make sure you put a charge on it and blow it up. So the scenarios I told you why we have to get rid of them and do a full dismount, put the charges on them so we can blow it up and not allow the enemies to use anything. Because the thing is, they could take out our turrets, our guns out of that, and then find the ammunition and use it and mount it up to one of their civilian vehicles. So we only use our own weapon used against us. You can also do a full dismount if you're on an unarmed vehicle. If you're in an unarmed vehicle, a vehicle that does not have no turret on it, then you can do a full dismount out of it. Because we could leave our unarmed vehicles in the combat zone. Now, with that said and everything else, never leave an armed vehicle unsecured in a combat zone. Everyone understand me?
Yes, Sergeant.
Roger.
Sergeant.
Alright, now we're almost done. I'm gonna go over some basics of convoy procedures. First off is convoy net. This down. Convoy net is on frequency 50 on the long range. So 50 on LR, which means long range. Now, to set up your long range, you have to be either in the driver, vehicle commander, or a gunner seat in order to control it. To open up your long range, you press Alt Papa. I'll say again, Alt Papa. That should bring up a larger interface of using long range. You can either press that CLR button, which is still there, and type in 50. So you gotta type it in. Don't use the numbers on that screen, because all it does is switches between channels. You gotta use your you can either use a numpad or use the numbers on your keypad, either the two. Type in 50 and then press the FREQ button. FREQ button sets your frequency. The ENT button, there's no ENT button on there. Your FREQ button sets your frequency. Question, Private James?
Yes, sir. You said what was the positions you said can access this radio?
Driver, vehicle commander, or the gunner. Only three. Alright.
Roger, sir.
Then you're gonna press the FREQ button to set the frequency. Now it's set. Next, you gotta do like you always do whenever you establish your radio communications. What do you do after you have your radio set up with the comm?
Radio check.
Radio checks. You gotta do your radio checks over to the radio. So, sounding like any other radio. However, this time you have your vehicle call signs. So instead of saying your name or saying alpha or actual, you say your vehicle call sign. So your vehicle call sign is basically your position in the convoy. If you're the first vehicle in the convoy, you're vehicle 1 when doing radio checks. By sending any other traffic, your first Vic. If you're second vehicle in the convoy, you're vehicle 2 or second Vic. If you're the third vehicle in the convoy, third Vic or Vic 3. Keeps on going to the last vehicle in the convoy. The last vehicle convoy, you use your vehicle number. So this is vehicle 10 or 10th Vic or vehicle 10. Everyone understand me?
Roger.
So it's vehicle. So it's indexation on this net. This is vehicle 1. Radio check on frequency 50 over. The reason why I use indexation on this net because you do not know who's on this radio frequency yet. All right.
What was that, Sergeant?
Any station on this net. So calling station is basically vehicle 1 or vehicle 2. Or well, it's calling station, but those are actually call signs. But it's asking for anybody that's on this frequency. Any station on this net. This is vehicle 1. Radio check on frequency 50 over. Same thing like if you've done your radio checks regular on your short range. So you, this is me. The you part would be any station on this net. Any questions?
Thank you, Sergeant.
Alright, moving on from there. That's how you're gonna do your radio checks. Now the convoy commander is the person in charge of the whole convoy. He's the person you listen to the orders of. So he's gonna give you the orders. Sometimes the convoy commander likes to do his own radio checks, so he likes to hit the radio checks again. And if you have guys haven't done a radio check, then he'll ask for a radio check. But a convoy commander is the one that's in charge of the convoy. He's in charge of speed, movement, and anything else like that. Now, you guys got two type of things that you'll be using on the radio. These are based off of priority. First off is routine call-ins, and then the second one is combat call-ins. Routine call-ins are things such as turns, speeds, halts. All people who could speak during routine call-in is the first Vic, the last Vic, and the convoy commander. So the lead Vic, last Vic, and convoy commander are the only ones who could speak during routine call-ins. Routine call-ins are the only thing that is used during the convoy net as the priority traffic. So just as we're talking right now, if you want to compare it, make it more easier for you to figure out what I'm talking about. our direct communication, like right now where we're talking on, this is what we always defaultly use every time, right? Am I correct?
Well,
And the radio is what we use for emergency traffic, correct?
Roger.
Yes.
So, us talking communication is what we use as in as routine call-ins. That's what we will do on ConvoyNet. Now, combat call-ins are emergency traffics. So, to break into that routine call-in, you could use the combat call-ins. So, combat call-ins are IEDs and spot reports or contact reports. That's what we'll use in the combat call-in. So, the ConvoyNet is clear or silent, whatever, but you see somebody coming out, you'll say break, break, break. This is vehicle 1, infantry spotted, this and that, or ID on the road, short halt. So you could call it short halt, even though vehicle commander hasn't called it, or the first Vic and last Vic hasn't called it. So those are what combat call-ins is. Are. Any questions with that?
Negative, Sergeant.
All right, guys, go ahead and form a file for me real quick. All right. You guys go ahead and try to do a 360 security. No. Just stay in the line in the file formation, Private James. You guys are doing good. Just do 360 security, but stay in formation. All right. Yeah, just keep looking for it, Private James. All right. In a convoy, it's what you call sectors of fire. So, vehicles will always be in a file. We never see a vehicle being in a stagger column whenever we're traveling on the road. We'll do formations if we're off the road, but if we're on the road, we're in a straight file. Private carrier just looks straight to direct 6 o'clock. Alright, so you have your sectors of fire when you're in a vehicle. If you're in the door gunner, if you're the gunner in the vehicle, your turret should always be facing a position where no one else is looking. Private James, you're the first Vic. First Vic will always look at the 12 o'clock. Private Perrin, you're the second Vic. That means is that second Vic has to look either left or right. So Private Carey, let's pretend you're the third Vic. Pretend someone's behind you. So Private Carey is the third Vic. He's looking the opposite direction what the second Vic is looking at. So it's all dependent on you. If you're the second Vic, it's all dependent on you on which security you're looking at. You don't have to depend on the first Vic. Pick one. Just pick left or right. If you're the third, fourth, fifth, or whatever, you have to look off based off the person in front of you. So Private Perrin is looking to the right. So Private Carey look to the left. Let's say if I'm the fourth Vic. I'm sorry, Private Perrin may say you look to the right. Private Carey is looking to the left. So let's say I'm the fourth Vic, but I'm not the last Vic. Which sector am I looking at? I'm not the last Vic.
You're looking to the right, just
I'm
like
looking to the right. There you go. Just a fire. Any questions?
No, sir.
No, Sergeant.
That's what you do if you're if you're the gunner. Pick those sectors of fire at all times. Don't ever forget that. And your team leader squad will always remind you about that. All right, we'll move on towards short halts and long halts. Short halts, you're always gonna leave your engine on, and that's sometimes you'll do a soft dismount during a short halt. During a long halt, you'll leave your engine off. So during a short halt, leave your engine running, and you'll do a soft dismount. In a long halt, you turn your engine off, and you do a combat dismount. Make sure that vehicle's in a safe position, and where it could be able to provide overwatch everywhere else. Then you'll do a combat dismount. Any questions?
Negative,
No,
Sergeant.
Sergeant.
All right. Now, when on base, your turret should always be facing towards the air. You're probably wondering why it would be facing towards the air if mortar assets would be in the air. The mortar pool is never ever nearby an airstrip, nonetheless in an air base. Whenever we're in an operation, you'll notice that after our second phase will always be, second or third phase, will be at a COP. This COP has a mortar pool, but there's no birds around us, but the birds are always at the air base. So, you never will be expecting the ND and then hit a rotary bird. So, you don't worry about that happening. So you put the turret to the sky, and worry about your rounds hitting nobody, or the rounds hitting the floor and ricocheting on somebody else. Any questions with weapons positioning while on base?
Negative, Sergeant.
All right. Next two things, and last two things. Vehicles, when moving and maneuvering, work the same as infantry. They can use formations and provide a base of fire and a lot more extra things that infantrymen do. So, let's say 6 vehicles of convoy. 3 vehicles can provide a base of fire. The other 3 will maneuver up along with the infantrymen. So half infantrymen will provide a base of fire. The other half will bound up with the vehicles. So half the Vics will base of fire. Half the infantrymen do base of fire. Half the Vics will move up. The other half of the Vics other half of the infantrymen will move up. Same way as infantrymen do. Vehicles could do formations when traveling off the road. Convoys are controlled the same as infantry squads are. They move when ordered, they communicate their movements, and a lot more things that they do as well. I have a great video of the operation during Operation Blackadder. A platoon leader had the vehicles bound through an open field to allow them to assault the objective very effectively. If you guys want to see that video, let me know. I will show that to you. It's an awesome video of Lieutenant Lewis actually doing this actual effective thing. You rarely see this happening, but he actually put this to effect and actually had them bound across an open field, because this field was the only best way for the whole platoon or the task force to actually assault the objective. Any questions?
Negative, Sergeant.
All right. This concludes convoy procedures and missed by mining friendly ground vehicles. Any questions? Anything else I need to go over? You guys want me to say again before I move on to the last portion?
No, Sergeant.
All right, go follow me. Well, I'm tired. I can't run anymore. Alright, you guys should see the red flag. You should see CQB and Mount Course. Go ahead and teleport there. Alright. Alright, go ahead and go on the road. Alright, in front of you are the demonstrators. They basically tell you this helps you visualize everything else that we're explaining to you. So on. Alright, so this we're going over right now is just CQB and that mount. So first off, whenever you're getting prepared to breach your building, so we're usually CQB and mount always happens whenever we're entering an urban terrain or an urban area, such as this town right here. Pretend this is a village. We're moving down along a road in a staggered column and realize we saw a building or compound we got to breach. So a team leader, such as Private James, would say, "Alright, team, let's go ahead and stack up on this wall." So you guys stacked up on this wall. Come a little closer. Normally, a stack will be the rifleman, fire team leader, grenadier, and then AR. However, I have a question for you guys. Who is the best point man?
I don't know. I haven't worked with them.
The best point man is the best point man. Whoever is the best point man, whether you think is somebody who's good at breaching or being a point man, or if you feel that you're the best point man, then you're the best point man. This is something just in theory. If you can't figure out who to take point, then automatically rifleman, you're the point. If the team leader doesn't say who to be point, just take point. Alright? This is what you do in theory. This is formation you do in theory. Now the person to watch the security, who is the best person to watch the rear?
AR.
It could be the AR, but the best person to watch the rear is the best person to watch the rear. It's just a rhetorical question. is basically the person whoever else is the best man to do it. So if you're good at watching the rear, then you'll be at the rear of the stack. So this is how the stack will, in theory, look like. Now we'll continue. So everyone's stacked up on here. They're ready to breach. Everyone's stacked up. So at this point, fire team leader will give the order to the point man to go ahead and pie it if he hasn't started to pie it already. So when you get ready to pie, you're gonna stand up. You're gonna make sure that your rifle Alright, there you go. So you can either walk or jog. Either or. Either two. If you're pressed whiskey Sierra, walk to me. Now try to jog to me. Press whiskey Sierra. There you go. Alright, if your weapon's pointing down, press the Charlie key while you're doing that. Alright, good, we got it. Let's go. Alright, come on. Alright, now you know how to now you don't know how to work with your movements when doing this. This is very crucial when you do it. And here's the reason why. When you're standing up and pieing, you gotta make sure that you're the jogging and walking, whichever one you feel deems best. You gotta make sure you're on fully automatic. So what button you press to go on full automatic?
The fun key.
The fun key. You're gonna press that fun key to where you're full automatic, and then make sure your lasers are fire, then put your laser on. And you're gonna pie it, so make sure you're fanned off away from the wall, and then you're gonna pie it with an arch. You're gonna lead with, not with your body. When you lead with your body, it's like this. So lead with your rifle in your head. And then you're gonna get to where you're least online with the wall. So almost where you're on the edge of the wall. Because if you start getting the center, what are you crossing right now when you get right here? Well, what you're fully exposing yourself to, I should say.
Building, window, door.
There's a term. There's a term called it. Is that building window door? Starts with an F.
Funnel of death.
Fatal funnel.
Fatal funnel. There you go.
There you go.
You're crossing the fatal funnel. You're already in the fatal funnel, but right now, you're exposed. You're overly exposed. If I start crossing center, I'm getting engaged from my left and my right. I'm gonna get shot because I can only engage one person. So when you're pieing it, you pie it like this, and then you're gonna move back. If you ever see no contacts, then you can make the daring move and go all the way around. But as soon as you come all the way around, or else you're gonna ruin your element surprise. If you move it back, then someone else may see you. Probably a guy that was rotating around and now saw you. You ruin our element surprise. Everyone understand me?
Roger.
All right.
Sorry.
So you're gonna pie like this, then move back, or you're gonna pie it and go around to the other side. If you engage someone while pieing, engage them while you're moving way back. Don't try to commit to firefight. Hey, listen up. You got a whole fire team with you. We don't fight fair. We want to put 4 rounds into that one guy. Not just one guy putting rounds into him. We want to put 4 guys to engage that one man. So, try to think smart, not stupid. Get back to the stack. You can crouch. Weapon up. Keep weapon up, no longer crouching. Whenever you're all stacking, you should never have your weapon resting. And then you're going to give out your reconnaissance. Tell your team leader what you saw. Alright, I saw a, to my left it's clear. We got a building to my direct front with windows facing the entry point along with a door. Door is closed. No threat. So give out as much reconnaissance as you can. Then a team leader will judge what kind of breach to do. Here's 3 levels of breaches. The first one is normal breach. Normal breach means you're just going in there. So after everyone says you're set and the point man says he's breaching, that's when you're breaching. Second level breach is a non-lethal breach. You're breaching in with the flashbang. So I'm going to toss a flashbang in the room. When that flashbang goes off, the point man will push. So we breach as soon as that flashbang goes off. Last level breach is lethal breach. You're going to throw a grenade in there. The grenade goes off, that's when you breach. Do you ever understand me?
Cool.
Sorry.
Alright, so what type of level breach that we will do since the compound is cleared is we haven't seen no threat.
Normal breach.
Normal breach. With the normal breach. You don't need it. You don't need to throw a flashbang. All a flashbang grenade is gonna do is break our limit surprise. I'm gonna do a normal breach. All right. If there was all enemies in there, you haven't seen no hostage in there, and the mission during the op order it said there was no hostage feelings in the AO, then you'll throw a grenade in the room. All right. So the team leader will say, "All right, let's do a normal breach. Call that your set." When you hear team leader say, "Call that your set," this is where you're gonna stand up. Make sure your rifle is up, and you're walking like this. And you make sure your rifle's facing. Make sure that you're facing to the front of the stack. So your barrel should always be almost touching the left shoulder of the man in front of you. If you're on the right hand side of the wall. If the wall is on your left shoulder, then your barrel should be almost touching the right shoulder of the man in front of you. Does you understand me?
Roger, so you're basically touching the outside shoulder.
Yep.
I think.
Yep, very firm. You only call that your set if you're up to the front and you're ready to breach. If you the guy in the rear is the only person that's only time he brings his attention to the front is when he hears appointment say breaching, going in, going left. Does everyone understand me?
Roger.
Alright. Once you hear the last man say, if this is if your point man, then you'll go in. Breaching, going in, going left. Alright. Now, my advice to every point man, and this is what I want you to do, you always breach the side you weren't able to clear. When I was playing this, I saw the left side and half of the right side. What side was I not able to see? This right corner. So I'm gonna breach the right corner. Because this is what happens if I try to breach the left. I'm gonna get other guy shooting. My battle buddy, the person right behind me is coming in as well, and he's in firefight. Versus if I pushed in and started engaging this, he's not gonna get himself down. This way, you don't have two guys down and blocking this fatal funnel right here. Does you understand me?
Cool.
So you're gonna breach the site we're able to clear out. This is how it looks like when you breach it. You're gonna go in, engage any targets you're. You immediately bring your barrel to the right, or whichever side you're breaching, and then corner. If the corner is clear, come inside now. I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. So this is how it looks like over here. Breaching, going in, going right. Engaging targets in the center. Then I barrels to the. I'm gonna go in here and corner is clear and engage any target in that corner. Then I'm gonna keep going to this corner and I'm gonna bring my barrel to the center of the room and start engaging targets as I sweep from the right to left. And then I'm gonna sweep back to left to right and keep printing out targets. And see if there's any more targets. Everyone understand me?
Cool.
Yes.
Does everyone know the reason why I'm not gonna keep my eyes to the center of the room?
Because that's where the building is and where the threat will come from.
Yep. No. The only reason why that when I breached this compound that I brought my attention to the corner, I'm not keeping my eyes to the center of the room while I'm breaching. Is that the reason why? So what I'm saying is that when I crossed the threshold, I kept my eyes on the center, and then I brought my attention to the corner. The reason why I left my eyes off the center of the room is because I got 3 more guys breaching in. These 3 guys will take care of the guy in the center. Second man will come in, engage whoever else is left, then bring his attention to the corner. The 3rd and 4th guy, their primary focus is the center of the room. So if me and the guy behind him wasn't able to clear out the guys sitting in the room, they're gonna be the ones taking out the rest, whoever else is left. Does everyone understand what I'm saying there?
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright. So this is where you're gonna go in versus of position of people going. So the appointment went right, correct? So appointment will go, look right, clear it out, go to the corner. The second man, like always, will go the opposite. So he'll go in and go left. And then clear out the corner, take the corner. Where does the third man go?
To the right.
Yep, that's a good guess. Third man will go right, and then take. And someone go ahead and put yourself in the place where the fourth man will go. It's a quick pop quiz. Where you think the fourth man will go? No. Where will he stop at, I should say. Alright, there you go, Private Carey. There you go. Alright, does everyone need to see how it looks like when a full team enters? Or you guys think you got it?
Got it.
I think I got it.
Alright. Once everyone breaches the room, take out as many contacts as you can until the room is clear. When your side is clear, say right clear or say left is clear. If you're the second man to clear out your room, or the last man to clear out the room, then say room is clear. You don't have to say left side is clear, just say room is clear. So if Private Carey said left side clear, then I'll say room is clear, because my side's already clear. Once that is done, reconsolidate. Bandage yourself, whatever, let your team leader know you got a bandage or whatever, repack your magazines, reload, whatever you need to do. Once that is done, team leader, Private James, you're not done yet. We gotta clear out that rear side. So after everyone's reconsolidated, we gotta keep clearing out. So we gotta clear out the backyard. That's what we're gonna do. Private James is gonna say, alright, is everyone ready? Is everyone set? And then yard, move. Then we're gonna move along the wall. You're gonna wash these windows. And then let's pretend the wall connected from here down to here, right? Gonna move along the wall and then pie it and engage you. Alright, I'm coming across. Say friendly, coming across. This way he'll know that you're coming across now, you're engaging. This way you guys won't engage each other when you see each other, alright? Now, let's say that there was an opening right here, like a gate open or whatever. This is how it looked like. So, Private James, no, let's say whoever else. Alright, so Private Carey. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to get eyes down this corner right here. Alright, or we're going to do it like, if I do this right here, this is how it look like. I'm going to open myself up like this. Private Carey will take my position. He'll pie that out. And he'll say he's set. Now I move across and clear it out. Everyone understand me? Alright. Once the backyard is clear, you'll say backyard is clear. And then Private James, are we done yet?
Negative, Sergeant.
Negative. Nope. We still have a building to clear out. This whole courtyard is clear, but the building is not cleared. So Private James, if you remember that the entry point was to the front, right?
Roger.
And the door was on the right or left side?
Right side.
Right side. So tell your team to come over on the left side. So you'll say, all right, you two on that side, on that wall, come over to me. Once they came over to you on the wall, you guys will come over here and connect yourself. And you're gonna fall alongside the wall. See you. Come over here. So go ahead and get yourself set. Stack on the wall. There you go. Scoot a little bit more up, James. Private James, you'll guess your take point. Scoot up more until you get close to the doorway. There you go. Stop. Alright. From this point, now y'all ready to breach this building. You're going to say, alright, open door, back off the door, then pie it. Fine. Alright, looks clear. I'm going to pretend I'm playing here for you, Private James. Alright. And behind the window is clear.
The level of breach. Maybe a normal breach.
I'm breach. Copy.
Call that you set.
Copy. One.
Two set.
Reset.
4 set.
Right. Breaching. Going in, going right. Door clear. Right side clear.
Room clear.
Awesome.
Right.
All right, what do we do next?
Consolidate.
All right, and I'm all right. Smith is ready to
Same.
move.
Move to the door.
Copy. Either you have to get on this side or get behind us. So which one you want to do? You want to get behind us, all right? Okay. So take everything, the movement of this whole team. I'm waiting on your
Pipe.
open door. Fine. All right, left side looks clear.
Normal breach.
Copy.
2 set.
3 set.
4 set. Last man set.
All right, there we go. All right, breaching, going in, going right. Behind door is clear.
Left's clear.
Room clear.
All right, now we're done. Now I'm gonna come outside in an orderly fashion. So Perrin, you exit out. Private Care, you exit out. James and I. All right, now when you exit out the doorway, you're gonna say how many guys is out. So whoever that first man that came out, you're gonna say, all right, 4 coming out.
All right, 4 out.
All right, 4 coming out. Hey, we're gonna come out. Then you're gonna attack the. To be able to carry green spray paint at the end of. Oh, so actually, me Sergeant Martin will discuss think about this. We might have you guys carry green spray paint during day 4 if we're gonna do a lot of CQB. And then once that building is tagged, we're gonna come outside of the compound. So you're gonna say again. How many? What did we say again when we come out of this compound?
4 man coming out.
4 coming out. So I'm gonna come out. They're all gonna come out. Pound. So no one else has to come in here and cut out this compound. Now we're done.
Now, since
then
it
we'll
had
move
another
on.
opening on the other side, do we need to run over and tag
Yep.
that side too?
Hey, firm. Hey, there's another opening in this building. We clear out. Tag that. If another opening in this compound, tag that. Team leader will tell people to do that or make initiative and say, hey, I'm Alpha. I'm gonna tag the other entry point. All right.
All right.
Roger. So you
This
basically
building's
tag
now
every
clear?
entry.
Yep. Building not clear. We'll move on to the next part. We're all done now. But CQB. The mount's a little bit different. When you're redoing mount, you just follow the walls of the compounds like this. But we don't have time to go over mount, so I don't want to hold you guys over because you're already 7 minutes over the time. Essentially, the point man watches the behind me. You're in charge of watching everything else to my left. You're looking at the first level. Third man, you're watching the second level. Okay? So any second level buildings to our right and to our left. Guy in the rear, you're watching the rear. That's essentially what you're doing throughout mount. When you're traveling alongside the streets to the next building, you're doing that until you get ready to breach. I can't go over more stuff for mount because, like I said, we don't have enough time. All right, any questions? You guys got any questions for us?
Negative, Sergeant.
No, sir.
All right. Now, like I said, we're 7 minutes over. Do you guys want to go over a practice run with the live fire of CQP, or you guys want to get out of here? So all 3 of you make a decision.
I'm good to play all night, so whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah, we can run over it real quick.
Private Care, you cool for that?
Yeah, I got 15 minutes.
All right, then I want to hold it off now because it'll take. I don't know how long it'll take. Yeah. So you guys get that experience anyways. You guys already went through it anyway, so you guys get the experience later on. How about this? No live fire, dry run, go over to the wall, and then do it real quick. So breach. So pick which side, either right or left, doesn't matter. See, I'll do that side right. I'll be your point man. How about that? If someone wants to be point man, I'll just do whatever. Window or entry.
Pipe.
Pine. I don't know. How about this? No, someone has to take point because none of you guys will get experience of pine it. Alright, give yourself orders, Private James.
Pie. Went too far out.
Alright, just let us know what's there. You know, your team leader. Just let us know what is there so we could be informed.
It looked clear to my right
Copy.
or to my left. Normal reach. Call when you're set. Do I still have to say that I'm set?
Yep. 1 set. Yep.
Roger. 1 set.
2 set.
3 set.
4 set.
Last man.
Last man set.
Breaching.
Say where you're going to.
Breaching,
Going right. Call it which side's.
Right clear.
Left side clear.
We can't hear you guys. Alright, room is clear. Or compound's clear. What we do next?
Left side clear.
Right, that's all. See, when we're spaced out like this, I have to use the radio.
Yep. Sometimes,
Roger
yeah.
that.
Alright, we're still not done yet. I'm not gonna give you any hints. I want to see what you're gonna figure out.
Alright, team. Consolidate.
Smith is good on everything.
Carry's good.
Very good.
Tell him.
Team to my left, we gotta check this backyard.
Roger that, Alpha.
Sergeant Smith on me.
Copy. Make sure you tell him that you're moving. That,
Team 2 moving.
Alright, pie that. Yep. Yep, keep moving and pieing. Yep. Don't stop.
Fine. Compound.
Project, just keep moving. Move all the way up to that corner. Alright, is it clear or not?
That's clear.
Left side clear.
Yep, so you have a radio, right side clear.
Backyard clear.
Alright, what's next?
I didn't check to see what side the door was on.
Oh, they're on both sides, so don't worry. Pick it. And they're on both
Okay.
sides.
All right, team, move to me.
Still on radio when you hear
Alright. Alright, team, move to me.
Should tell them to follow the wall. But no worries. They follow that building wall.
Roger.
Here, hold on 1 second. You guys want to follow this green wall when he says move to you. Until he tells you to get on the building wall. At all times, follow that wall unless he says otherwise. Alright, continue on.
Roger that, Sergeant.
I'll take rear. I'm taking rear.
Let's see.
Alright, have private carry applied this time.
All right, private carry you.
I'll move up for you guys.
Fine. Looks clear left.
Copy that, normal breach. Call when you're set.
1 set.
2 set.
Reset.
Last man set.
Breaching left.
Going right.
Left clear.
Room clear.
I'm getting outside security.
Alright, move to this door. Parent, you pie.
Clear.
Too funny.
Normal breach. Call when you're set.
1 set.
2 set.
Reset.
Last man set.
Breaching going right.
Breaching going left.
Going left.
Right clear.
Room clear.
Let the team know we're going outside now. So we'll say, alright, building's clear, let's go outside.
Alright, building's clear. Going back outside.
And then what do you say next? What do you do next? Since you're the first man going out.
4 coming out.
There you go. Make sure you say on yelling. If 4 come
4 coming out.
right there. Because that was a good dry run. Sorry, Margiota, were you on Zeus?
I was not, but
Copy.
why? No.
Did you have anything?
I mean, practice is gonna definitely help out. I'm not gonna critique y'all with that. Like everything we teach you here in OSUT, fucking communication is key. Especially when you're fucking breaching and clearing and mount. There's definitely a lot of communications between team members and team leads. But yeah, just keep practicing, and I would say fucking practice makes perfect, but fucking mount CQB, that's fucking no such thing as that. But just keep practicing. So, good job, gentlemen, and see you on Thursday.
Thank you, sir.
That's all. Yep, thank you.
Do you guys know the
Alright.
reason why we say how many we're coming out?
Nobody gets left behind.
Not that, so there's always a team watching security outside, or somebody watching security. If you don't say how many coming out or you're coming out, I'm gonna end up shooting at you guys by mistake, because right now in this operation we have enemies almost have the same exact camo we have. So if you don't say that you're coming out, or friendlies coming out, or whatever, or how many you're coming out, we end up shooting you guys by mistake. And if you say only 3 and there's 4 of you coming out, we're gonna shoot the 4th man to make you think that someone wearing U.S. armor or U.S. uniform. That's the only reason why. One thing I forgot to point out, and then we'll end this: never stop when moving when we're clearing out places, like especially in this fatal funnel. If I stop and then get down right here, no one else could. Back, stuff like that. So that's the reason why I'm not wasting time. So as soon as you get breaching, just breach. If you get engaged by somebody else, just keep pushing in there. Like I said, you got 4 guys breaching in that building to take out the contacts. You guys got any questions, comments before we close it? I don't want to waste you guys more time.
Negative, Sergeant.
There you go.
No, Sergeant.
Copy. You guys did an excellent job today. I think you guys did extremely well listening, taking in everything you guys took, and retaining. You guys actually took notes, so I feel like you guys are going to do excellent job during your oral quiz. I don't expect anyone to fail, hopefully. So Sergeant McCoy, especially if you guys have anything before I close it. I think Sergeant McCoy, you probably has some.
No, I'm good, Sergeant. Thank you.
All right.
I was supposed to say, good luck on Thursday. I won't be able to make it at work, so good luck on day 4.
Thank you, Specialist. All right, you guys are dismissed. Sorry for holding 19 minutes over day and time, but you guys take care. You guys dismissed. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening. We'll see you guys on Thursday. Make sure you are on time. All right.
Thanks, Sergeant.
Thanks, Sergeant.
And let's hope Private Perrin doesn't have any issue.
Yes.
Don't fucking jinx him like that.